I'm excluding my sister with Tourette's from my wedding ceremony because she might disrupt it.
Maybe just give her one of those like Hannibal Lecter masks.
Wow, you could save your
Problem
daughter.
solved. You can have your sister and you don't get interrupted.
There it is.
There you go. Or duct tape. Easy.
God. So I, 28 female, am getting married to my fiance, Max, 25 male, this summer. My sister, who I'll call Megan, 32 female, has pretty serious Tourette's. Certain physical movements and saying, ha ha ha, like that, are her most common tics, but there are others as well. By the way, this comes from Kooky Item 8576, and if you want to send in your own stories, go to r/OKTime subreddit and send it in. Now, as long as I've been alive, I have never seen Megan sit through a long ceremony or presentation without tics, not even her high school/college graduation. As for any siblings' graduations, her ha 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 is extremely loud, bordering on yelling, and most of the time repetitive. I have involved and invited Megan to every aspect of the wedding, the rehearsal dinner, the bachelorette party, the reception, except for the actual ceremony. My fiance and I are writing our own vows, and I just want to hear him say them without interruption. The ceremony is fairly long, and I seriously doubt Megan's ability to go that long without ticking. She has said that holding back tics is like holding back a sneeze, only 1,000 times more difficult. The only options I see for her going into the ceremony are A, letting the tics go on as normal and be scrutinized by Max's side of the family who hasn't met her yet, or B, trying to suppress them the whole time. Either way, it would be a miserable experience for her. I've explained Megan's situation to guests who are unaware, but in Max's family, there are several young children and elderly people that I doubt will have tact about it. Megan was heartbroken when I told her that I don't want her at the ceremony.
I don't know if my sister had Tourette's, she's still front row.
Yeah.
She's front row at my wedding. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I want my sister to, but I realize that not everyone has like that kind of relationship, but like, come on, it's your sister.
I feel like, yeah, as long as your sister isn't a toxic, crazy person like we've seen these other stories, it's like, bring.
Actual Drop Bear has a great comment. Never understood why people want perfect over family. That's a bar. That's a bar. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think right now. Is OP the a-hole so far? But right now I'm just getting a little a-hole vibes, but let me know what you think.
That's what I'm thinking too. I explained my reasoning to her about how the ceremony wouldn't be fun for her either way, but she didn't want to hear it. She admitted that she will likely tick when we're reading our vows, but insisted that we can pause and carry on or speak over it. I know this is selfish, but I don't want Max to pause or speak over someone. I want him to read his vows just as he wrote them. Megan has accused me of being mean, ableist, and a bridezilla. My dad is on my side, my mom is on Megan's side, and my other sister, 24 female, agrees with me, but thinks I should let her come anyways. Max supports whenever I decide, but says he hopes this doesn't fracture our sister's relationship. So, am I the a-hole? We have an edit coming up. But Sam, to confirm your stance from earlier, just put it in stone. What do we think? A-hole or not?
I mean, I think a little the a-hole, but I also think we're not thinking out of the box yet, you know? Like
I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to ask what boxes are going to be used.
All right, Riley, can you pull this up? Look up noise canceling talking speaker.
Oh, man. I think I've seen those. But also, to add to your point of OP being the a-hole, I think OP is the a-hole because when she approached her, it wasn't like,
let's find a solution.
Hey, or like, hey, how would you feel? Would this feel? She basically said like, this is going to be a miserable experience for you. Like, kind of like she kind of dictated to her versus like, hey, just how would you feel? Like, just having that as a starting place. Why can't we start there?
Noise canceling what?
Voice canceling microphones and like silencer. Voice can no.
I know
like
singing practice maybe.
Silencer. It's here.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let's go to images.
It looks very explicit.
Yes.
Oh, that's not the one I was thinking of.
There you go. Look at that,
dude.
Wait.
Stop.
Move it over to the side, Riley. We can't quite see it because of the chat. All right.
Oh my goodness. No.
All right.
No, you're telling me you want to put that on your sister at your wedding. That is what you're telling me right now. You want to put a muzzle on your own sister.
First of all, it's not a muzzle. It's a piece of technology. It's like wearing an Apple product on your face.
That is literally a muzzle.
It's a fashion statement.
She'd look good in it.
First of all, yeah, dude, exactly. Like it's like a mustache.
A mustache?
Yeah.
That is not a mustache.
It's like a mustache, you know, for women often can't grow mustaches, and now we're giving women the opportunity to, all right, here we go. Take a picture of your face, print it on top of this. Bang.
A picture, dude.
Like, you know those masks? Those like masks where they have your face on the mask? Look at Riley. Can you pull up face mask with face on mask?
This is going from bad to worse. I'm slacking I'm messaging Riley what I thought you were going to say as the
Yes. See? We could do that. Look at that.
It's literally only getting worse.
No, not that one. No. Go up. Yeah, right there. See?
No.
Literally your face on a mask.
This is crazy.
It's like
no.
you're not even wearing a mask. And then everyone wins. Sister gets to go to the party. OP gets to keep being an a-hole and be like, I want the perfect wedding.
I got you. Yeah. Give that to Sophia. Boom. You got it.
I you know what? I think
I thought that's what you were about to talk about.
Wait, all right. Actually, all right. Wait. That's kind of a great. All right, here we go. My mom gets pissed at me when I yawn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh. And she's like, Sam, freaking cover your mouth when you yawn.
Dude, this is you now.
Yeah, that's me now.
Yep.
I could, if I was a compulsive yeller or something, I get this thing and I just do my yell into the thing.
If anything, because it could be like way more.
This is great.
Possibly.
This is great.
That could actually work.
I think this is a good in between.
That one could maybe, but it has to be her. It has to be her saying that she would do it. But I feel like if she...
Yeah, dude. Yeah, get it in like a black tie event. You put your little mouth urinal over it.
Get it in black.
Dude, this is a great... I honestly think here we go. I'm not saying that we should make people with Tourette's yell into a mouth urinal, but I am saying if I was playing a game show where I had to be quiet to win $1 million, I had to like keep under a certain decibel threshold, and I had a condition where I would like yell every few minutes, I would buy one of these so I could win the $1 million. That's all I'm saying.
That scenario works.
That's all I'm saying.
It's an OP. I feel
That's
like
all
OP
I'm saying.
would be used to it by now. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she's
That's
probably
all
not
I'm
super close
saying.
with her because she's different.
Yeah. It sounds like OP. Like if my sister was like had Tourette's, I think like you said, I would be used to it by now and I would want her at my wedding. So I don't get this whole thing. What if it was like someone you didn't even know?
If it was someone you wouldn't know, then someone would probably politely, unknowing, be like, hey, would you mind stepping outside?
Yeah.
Just for a minute?
Or using my mouth urinal.
Dude.
I don't know.
I suggest this?
The mouth urinal, it's like, it's not.
It's absolutely the most elegant solution on the table right now.
It's kind of the most elegant solution.
It's the most elegant solution on the table right now. It looks crazy.
Can we see a video of someone using it? Like, I want to see if it's actually like good. Oh yeah, here we go.
No free sponsors. Oh man, look at that thing.
I don't know why it looks
comfy.
It looks sexual to me.
It looks very.
Well, it's like a mic.
It's giving the light of flesh.
Why is it dripping?
Dude, why are they putting water in there, man? I feel like they know what they're doing. They know exactly.
I can't hear it.
The speaker's broken.
I got a new speaker. That sounds pretty good. Dude, what if a kid cries? Bam! Put that thing on it.
Dude, if we had that for church, oh my God.
Crying babies.
They'd be handing those things out like candy.
That'd be a good thing to pass out.
That's honestly a great, put these things on your big
yeah. It's like
for airplanes. For airplanes. Dude.
That potentially could be a game changer.
Is that not a great idea? Your kid is crying on an airplane.
Yep.
Wham!
It's got to be your kid, though. Even still, your kid, dude. I don't know if I want to put that thing on my child's face, bro.
All right.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
You're in a crowded plane.
Right,
Everyone's like, all right, yeah, sorry. All right, we're going. All right,
yes,
anyway.
we are one paragraph in, but we do have an edit. So, edit. The kids I'm mentioning went to Max's cousin's wedding last year and were very well behaved, even though their ceremony was longer than they were planning for ours to be. So that's why I'm fine with them. I don't know if this helps, but I'm also autistic and have severe struggles when my routines are interrupted or when things don't happen how I planned them. That is context. I have often been accused of being a control freak, too type A, etc., etc.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Maybe this was just me letting my controlling personality get in the way. We have another edit number 2. Deleted the previous edit 2, which was expressing my concern that my post would be removed for talking about V. This is my first time using Reddit, and I have tried to post to different subs, and I was told even an allusion to that would get the posting down, and I didn't understand the difference. Now that I do, I'd like to clarify the biggest issue isn't the verbal interruptions, which would greatly upset me anyways, but potential harm for Megan and other guests. There's a non-zero chance she could injure herself or others. This is actually the crux of the issue. Yeah, I'm curious to
Really?
understand. Yeah,
I mean, maybe like
confused.
if she has like physical tics that are not just auditory, but I don't know. I've never seen. Yeah, I don't know. Let's keep going. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I could possibly potentially handle verbal interruptions, although they would make me incredibly unhappy and uncomfortable. But I don't think I can deal with stopping the wedding if someone had been hurt. It usually only happens in high stress situations. When she was younger, crowds, large groups of people have been historically been a trigger for her, and the ceremony would require her to stand in front of a huge crowd pretty closely to the other bridesmaids. It happened only a few times in the past year, and just really quick, if she's bridesmaid or like sitting with them, why not let her sit in a place where it's like, can she sit in the back where she's surrounded by people? I don't know. We're not.
What, you want to put your sister all the way at the back, John?
If that's what helps her.
That's crazy.
If that's what helps her.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to help. I'm going for solutions, baby.
I don't know. You're shut down my urinal mouth thing pretty quick, John. It
I
doesn't
did.
sound like you're solution oriented.
I did. More solutions on the table. It's happened only a few times in the past year, which should make me feel confident, but I feel like the anxiety has just been growing and growing, and I don't know how to stop it other than making sure there is a 0% chance it could happen. Even though she said she could deal, she has a history of either underestimating or minimizing how bad her tics would be. She said she could handle her stressors and manage them, but whacked me in the face at a funeral a couple years ago. She says she can handle the wedding, and I'm truly sorry if this is ableist, but I'm simply don't believe or trust her anymore. She is either not being truthful with me or herself about how bad the tics can get. Sorry for all the edits, but I did not mean to communicate that I was ashamed of Megan or cared if Max's family didn't approve of her. If that was true, I wouldn't have had her at any of the parts of the wedding, since those family members will also be there. Based on her previous reactions to similar situations, I assumed the kids staring at her upset her, not me. Stress is a trigger for her, but people in the thread were right about how it wasn't my place to assume and dictate how she would feel, and I messed up on that part. It's hard to balance, reread the previous edit, when Megan does have a history of playing down / underestimating how bad things could get. And we do have a minor update coming up. But again, I think that people are, or she is still assuming without just like sitting down and talking
I think she
to her
should.
about
I mean,
it.
yeah, I think OP should assess what the sister, what would make the sister most comfortable.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it seems like she just doesn't want the sister there, rather than actually trying to find a solution for how the sister could be there.
Yeah. It's all just like, here's what'll happen. We just need to not have her here. So nothing.
Yeah. And I guess like what OP's saying is like, oh, like my sister underestimates the severity of her tics. But I don't know. I think there are solutions that like no one's thought of yet, like possibly like mouth urinals.
Mouth urinal and a friend. I think if you get a mouth urinal and a friend, you're good.
So some kind of buddy system.
Yeah,
You gotta
because
mouth
usually-
urinal
buddy
on.
system.
Usually people that are like disruptive in weddings, we give them a buddy and that person takes care of them.
Oh, well, like the Shreks. The I objects.
Yeah.
But she's not even trying to I object.
Wait, no. We give her a buddy so she's not harming anyone and she's being like relatively like quieter, I guess.
Someone to just
Keep
be
an-
there
yeah.
for her.
Like
Yeah.
that one soccer coach that like doesn't know, like he is so focused on the game that doesn't realize he's bumping into people. So he has a guy that he pays full time to just like move him out of the way.
Oh, the football coach?
Yeah, the football coach.
Yeah.
Is that true?
The Los Angeles Chargers.
That's
We'll
an
pull it up at
inspiration.
the end of this story.
It's an inspiration to us now. So
we need
there's
one of those for Riley.
ooh.
Yeah, dude, he's handling so much.
Oh yeah, truly. He's just running around knocking hosts over left and
I
right.
need hands.
Now there's a minor update. I called my dad to double check, but there is a nursery room in the church where people can watch what's happening in the church live on a TV inside. I hadn't known about it because it wasn't there when I was a kid, but it will definitely be on my list of proposed compromises when I speak with Megan. And now we have the real update.
Hit me with it.
Big Daddy.
Hit me with it.
So, next update titled, Why Didn't You Suggest a Compromise Such as Skyping? Opie says, I genuinely did not think of them. I struggle with rigid thinking and often categorize things as an absolute yes or no without thinking of any options in between. The suggestions for compromise have been very helpful, and I will bring them up to Megan. How would you feel if you were disinvited because of your autism? If the reasoning was sound, such as they believe the environment would lead me to have a meltdown, then I would understand. What if your child has Tourette's? How would you feel if they were excluded? Since Tourette's, as many of you have pointed out, is genetic, Max and I have thoroughly discussed how we would raise them. We will always demand reasonable accommodations from school and the workplace, but we will not insist that they be involved in every single activity that kids without Tourette's can do. If we had a child that was in a wheelchair, we would not insist they be put on the track field alongside able-bodied kids to see if they can wheel the 400 meter faster than they could run. We would find an organization that caters to children in wheelchairs, specializes in helping them be active, and our hypothetical child will understand that they can't participate in everything the other kids can, but we will always provide alternatives and they will never be made to feel less than because of it. Another question, why can't you just say your vows in private? I don't want to. That's literally it. I feel pretty justified in all my other plans regarding Megan, but this is simply a selfish desire rooted in nothing but Max's and me's feelings. The thought of doing vows in private makes me unhappy. The thought of doing it in front of everyone makes me happy. You can call me the a-hole for that if you wish. And why doesn't your family consider that our tics particularly distress you because of your own disability, autism? It has never been taken seriously by my family because it pales in comparison to Megan. If one child is drowning and the other child is barely treading water, you go to the drowning child first. Why are you marrying into Max's family if they will be ableist to Megan? They have never been ableist to Megan. When I say I worry about their behavior, I specifically mean younger children and elderly people who aren't mentally there being able to stop themselves from staring at her. And then, why do you care about what Max's family thinks? I don't know how else to communicate that. It's this. Max's family stares, etc. This upsets Megan. This stresses her and increases the likelihood of her ticking. She has a violent tic and harms herself or others. There's also a selfish option B where it causes a verbal tic and the consequence of it is just me being upset. We have another update coming up, but yeah, it feels like I don't know that we're making any progress here where she's like, oh, this will happen and she'll get upset and then she'll have this tick. I don't know. Like, at least ask.
Yeah.
At the barest.
But it could be
minimums.
like, it could be that she's just not the best judge of what can happen. You know how we were talking about yesterday. It's like you don't go, like when matchmakers try to make a match, they don't go to the person they're trying to match and ask like what kind of person you are. They go to like the family members and ask what kind of person you are. Like often the people around us are better judges of our character than we are.
Which is very true. But I'm just like wondering, like, you don't have to ask and then like just get her perspective and then you can kind of like move forward from there. Like, I feel like at a minimum, it'll just help you know where her head is at when you suggest a proposal.
Yeah, I agree.
Or anything. But we have update number 2.
Let's hit it.
Some additional context I think will help. All 3 girls have moved out of the house. Max and I, the fiance, have an apartment in a big city that will remain unnamed, niche city for privacy reasons. And my youngest sister, 24 female, I'll call her Mia, is in law school at a university that will also remain unnamed, niche university. Go NU. Now, we're both in relatively drivable distances from our hometown where Megan and our parents live. It's a small town where everyone knows everyone's type of deal. And Megan attended community college where she was already known by the professors and student body. While Megan lives on her own, she's very reliant on our parents. She has never even attempted to get a driver's license because of the possibility of a tic could cause her to swerve. Reasonable in my opinion. Again, just the language. She's never even attempted. It's like, I mean, yeah, if I can't control, I don't know if I would attempt that either. Just saying. Let me know if I'm crazy, chat. So my mom drives her to and from work every day. This is not me looking down on Megan in any way for attending a 4-year big name like Mia and I, or for needing extra help from our parents because she does need it. This is to explain that Megan and my parents, particularly my mom, are very close. In my opinion, my mom does things for Megan, mostly interpersonal conflicts that I think she could handle on her own. Megan rarely communicates directly with Mia and I. Instead, our mom usually calls us and says, Megan wants X, or Megan definitely felt Y. Our fight about the wedding was one of the few real discussions we've had without mom mediating.
The way that because I wasn't looking at the words, but when you said Megan wants X, it sounds sus.
I mean, hey, Megan's got a party too. She's
That's
going
true.
through some hard times and
That's
frustrated with
true.
sister. Maybe we do need to go out and just like let loose a little bit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Megan wants X.
Oh, wait, 2 meetings.
I know, too. And I didn't even see your meeting.
The S, yeah.
The S and the X.
The more it goes, the deeper the rabbit hole is. So Opie says, the first person I actually called was my mom and not Megan. I told her that Megan and I are both grown adults who are capable of handling ourselves. I said I will not take anything into consideration other than what comes directly from Megan's mouth. Mom tells me Megan is upset. I will disregard it. I got pretty frustrated when she steamrolled over my request and threw in her face that I'm the one paying for the wedding, not her dad. dad, which I regretted. I said I'm willing to work something out with Megan, but if they refuse to communicate or try to disrupt our conversation, all 3 of them will be disinvited. I reminded her that Megan was an adult and hung up. And we are about to read what OP says to Megan, but I wanted to check in I feel like OP and the mom are kind of like 2 people, but the inverse. The mom is like assuming stuff to kind of like protect her and get what she wants. And then OP is like assuming stuff to kind of just exclude and kind of just like maybe not intentionally exclude, but just get her way. Are we on track there, chat? I'm curious what you think, but
Not getting me.
Sorry.
He keeps getting me.
dude, the yawn cam is it's a brutal one. It's
Dude.
a brutal one.
I'm like doing it like a 1 out of 10 right now. I didn't mean to get that one because I'm yawning back here too.
Right.
It could be, I don't know, selfish, but OP does deal with a lot of things. It's a very stressful day, and the way that she handles stress doesn't seem, I don't know, seems like this would be adding unnecessary stress in a way.
What OP wants to do. Like, yeah. I will say it is a very tricky situation. Like, I feel like this is a lot of
It's
gray.
not easy. I guess I feel like OP would be used to this by now and be like, hey, this is my sister. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like maybe it's continually bothered OP and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And OP has always seen the parents be like, oh, we're going to loop Megan into whatever without concern for how potentially Megan's condition affects certain events, and like OP is like just like fed up. I don't know.
That's kind of what I'm seeing. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. But we're going to get back to OP, to the text she sent. So I won't copy and paste the exact text I sent Megan, but here's the main points. It is not my intention to hurt you, and I'm sorry. Please let me explain. I want to talk, not text. Things are too easily misconstrued. Your verbal tics have never been a problem for me. I didn't mean to make you feel ashamed of them. I don't want you to feel like we can't talk. The wedding ceremony is a one-time thing. I can explain if you call me. Mom and dad are not present in the room when she calls me. I have already called mom and told her to stay out of my business. I want to talk to her alone, and breaking my trust on this will have serious consequences. Goodness gracious.
Whoa. It feels unnecessary.
Yeah, like, hey, if mom or dad ends up being in the room, it'd be serious. Huh?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, me either. And I sent a list of 2-hour blocks the next 3 days I'm available to have a conversation. And last point, I love you. I guess that's good. She responded by picking one of the times tomorrow and nothing more. But I'm hopeful we can work this out. We have update number 3, where the big talk.
The big talk.
No
Hit me with
mouth
that
urinals.
big talk. Slap me across the face with that big talk right now, John.
We're taking the
Do
mouth
it.
urinals off and getting
Do
into
it.
it. Update number 3. I called Megan this morning. I will summarize our conversation, excluding any verbal tics. It's very, very long, and all names are fake for privacy reasons. I will refer to myself as Michelle. I told Megan that I was sorry I hurt her feeling. Megan said it was especially mean because I know how sensitive she is about weddings and that they're a sore spot for her. Again, we are now getting her feelings. Whoa. I'm bamboozled. I informed Megan that I was not aware that weddings were a particularly sensitive subject for her. Some context, Megan and I are at the age where pretty much everyone is getting married, more so for Megan because she lives in our small hometown. Plenty of women and one man she considers her close friends did not invite her to their weddings at all.
Wow.
And see if we had just sat down and just left our assumption at the door and said, hey, just curious, what do you feel about it?
Yeah.
We
And then
wouldn't know.
maybe on understanding this, we could offer solutions that allow Megan to go to any wedding she darn pleases with the urinal talker.
There it is. There it is, ladies.
Designed
and
from
gentlemen.
acoustic foam panels. You can scream and yell as much as you want in any wedding, and no one will be the wiser.
That literally looks like she's standing in a crowd. Man, the people knew what they were doing when they designed this one.
Why are her eyes closed?
See, that's what I'm saying. Opie goes on to say she works at a boutique and has even encountered friends shopping for jewelry for the weddings she wasn't invited to. But I didn't know that last part. Megan does not believe me. How can I not know how upsetting it is when she and my mom have repeatedly mentioned the exclusion to me every time that it happens? My answer, well, you never told me that you didn't get invited and that you were sad about it. You just told me you weren't getting invited. Megan says it's pretty easy to figure out and thinks I'm being purposefully obtuse. Basically meaning I think you're using your feigned ignorance to your advantage to have me not be at the wedding. I was supposed to pick it up from the context clues, the fact that she even said it, her tone when she had said it, how many times she had mentioned it, and apparently literally everyone else had too. Megan starts crying. I don't know what to do. I just wait until she stops. Say, here's a mouth urinal.
Yeah. I want you to finish the rest of what you're saying, but could you like take this next part through here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so much better.
It's what it's giving. I remind remind Megan that I struggle interpreting things like that. Again, OP is neurodivergent. This line is from Max, who I consulted, but he was not in the room. I told her that just like she needs some accommodations for her Tourette's, I need accommodations for my autism, and she has to explain things to me, especially feelings related to things, because I need that extra help. We do have some more from Megan.
From Megan?
From Megan, the sister.
From Megan. Oh, wait. We get her side?
Where we're going to hear a little bit from her. Okay.
Ooh.
Megan, you need someone to explain crying to you? Me, this is the first time you've cried about it to me. I obviously know what crying means. I'm not a complete dumb boot. Megan says, I didn't say you were a complete dumb butt. Me, I didn't feel like I was implied. Megan says, you just told me how bad you are at understanding complications. I can still guess. Well, your guess is wrong. I concede to her, but repeat what I said about needing some things explained to me. You said we didn't need to do that anymore, only because Aunt Maureen was such a witch about it. Context, when I was 15, my dad's sister came to live with us and helped out. Around the time, I verbally expressed my need for clear explanations, and she was so annoying about it.
Also, Kimberly Fine, it's not because I'm not having a good time. I love being here, but I am so tired, and I'm just recessing when I need my next go-go juice. And I thought if it's been only 30 minutes and I'm already tired, I'm going to crash without go-go juice.
Gallons.
So, Kimberly Fine, it's not because I don't love you. It's because I need to get go-go juice at some point soon.
In the veins, baby. An example, she'd stop at a red light and huff and then turn around in the backseat and say slowly, that means I'm annoyed, like I was a toddler or something. My parents and sister attempted in good faith and told off my aunt when she was being condescending in front of them, but they never quite caught on to what explanations I did need or didn't need. I just got tired of correcting them and announced that I was fine after about 6 weeks or so. Max is very good at explicitly stating his feelings because his mom is a therapist. The whole family is very communicative and verbalize their emotions. That's good. I didn't know that you were upset about it. Opie says, I realized Megan did not know for the same reasons I didn't know weddings upset her. I never told her. Plus, her takes were about their height when this was going on, and I absolutely don't blame her for not being observant, especially as I don't have typical tells of neurotypical people when they're upset. Opie had a hard time reading into it. Now, I explained to Megan my idea of the nursery room and the live streaming it to her so she can see it. So we're now getting to the proposed solution. Live stream. Probably any live stream, Riley's on board.
Dude.
I'm on board, dude.
That's as long as it's the live stream, it's done. And
By the time I'm 60, every single second of my life will be live stream, and then I will then go back into a time machine and replay parts of my life so it feels like I am in the time machine.
And also, if you think about it, casket going down, infinite live stream after that.
Whoa.
Does he move? Does anything happen?
You just put it on loop,
Oh,
dog.
infinite live stream
I feel like
inside
that
the
could
casket.
actually blow up.
What, like
You say,
watch my rotting corpse?
not the corpse. Just like you got a beautiful casket, right? 6 feet under the dirt. You just got a cam view of it. You can see like the birds going on or the little squirrels going on the
That
surface.
would be cool.
Is he going to move?
I would honestly rather have a video like I'm like just left on the surface of the ground and there's a camera pointed and it just shows my body rotting over time. I think that would be cool. Like integrating with the
nature.
plants and animals.
And then
I will say
a coyote F's your eye socket.
Oh,
what?
My God. Riley, what kind of live streams are you thinking of right now?
That was from a movie.
What movies are you watching?
It's from it's like those people
Coyote
that,
skull effort?
No, it's those people that die and it's like R.I.P. DP, like R.I.P.
R.I.P. double.
No.
One-
it's like
one in
they're
each
two
eye
dead
socket?
cops and they are ghosts and they're ghost cops and they have to go around and like do ghost cop stuff.
Bones?
No, one's like a sheriff from like the cowboy days and the other one's like a modern cop.
Oh, Walking Dead.
No,
Blue's
Ghost
Clues.
the R.I.P.
I love that
PD
picture.
move. Yeah, R.I.P. PD. It has Ryan Reynolds in it. It's real. It was from that movie, and Ryan Reynolds said it. So
I saw this
I'm
movie.
okay. See, look
I
at chat.
see.
Look at chat. Yes.
All right.
Also, does anyone else have more tea about the Ryan Reynolds Blake Lively lawsuit? Let me know,
I sure don't.
dude. It's pretty crazy. You should dive deep into it. It's like kind of like a Kendrick, not as big as Kendrick and Drake, but it is kind of like that vibe.
I haven't really paid attention yet.
You've piqued my interest.
I say they're Gen Z.
I am. And so is OP. Back to her story. So the next accusation comes from Megan. So we've just proposed the live streaming, the Skype in the room, right? You're ashamed of me just like my friends are. You think I'm embarrassing? I say no. If I was ashamed, I wouldn't invite her to anything at all. I tell her that I didn't want her at the ceremony specifically because 1, the sudden loud noises will really distress me, especially in a typical setup where the bridesmaids are behind me and I can't see them, so I won't even have a warning that it's coming. She says, fine, in a tone that I'm able to pick up on, and I ask her if that's how she really feels, because if it's not fine, she needs to tell me. I haven't even brought up the possibility of her potentially smacking someone yet by accident, because that will make her even more upset. After a significant pause, she says, no offense, but it just feels like you're saying this to hide that I'm ashamed of her. That her friends make lots of excuses like that too. Oh, I say no, but I understand why it looks that way because I've always downplayed my own issues when I'm with her family, something else Max has coached me on / suggested to me. I said that if she thought I was lying, she could talk to Max, his family, or any one of my friends who can verify my sensitivity to loud sound isn't recent. She's fine in a way that I interpreted as being more mollified, and then I said I'm worried about her schmacking tics, where people get schmacked.
Schmacking tics.
So she seems more understanding, but insists she can handle it. I try to gentle my voice as much as possible, but explain that anything above a 0% chance is unacceptable to me.
Dude.
And this may be where like OP's neurodivergence clashes here, where it's like, again, she says she's been told she having like a controlling nature is part of that for her neurodivergence. So it's like,
yeah, I don't know. But
not that doesn't excuse it.
It's kind of just like, it feels like OP's saying like, sorry, I'm a douche. Like, I'm autistic. Like, I don't know if those things are like the same,
Yeah, no, for
like,
sure.
You can't blame everything on that. And I think there's like, like you can say like, hey, this is difficult for me to deal with because of this. And here, let's find a solution. But I feel like OP is kind of like saying like, no, it's because I'm like this. And we're not going to find a solution.
Yeah, not anything above a 0% chance is unacceptable is crazy, because that to me is like, it's unacceptable to have you here.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty tough. She says it's not that bad, but her tone of voice and inflection is different. I interpret from this that she might actually agree with me, but is not ready to admit it yet, or doesn't believe what she's saying. Oh man, OP, we are stretching over here, and this is not yoga. I remind her that all of our family is historically bigger and that she works out a lot, which I admire her for. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Oh, because I think it's because like her tics can be.
Oh, she's so strong.
Yeah.
She's so strong. None of the family members really gets hurt when she elbows because we're all around her size, but she has to be reminded that she's a 5'10" muscular woman. Again, I don't know why we don't have her sit somewhere where she's out of the way. I reiterate and bring up some of the bridesmaids as an example, a direct quote. All of the others, our last names, would be fine if Mary was 5'0" and 115 soaking wet. If she elbowed you, would go the F down, and I don't think you would get up. She laughs a little uncomfortably, but I'm not joking. Dang, I'm picturing just a freaking Amazonian woman,
Yeah. I mean, like, I understand, like, it's like, I don't know, it's hard because it's like OP wants this day that's her own, but is worried that the sister is going to, like, disrupt the day. But again, like, I really think there's ways that you can integrate your sister for a condition that she can't control.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels included, where I feel like the sister feels so alone. And
Yeah.
It's like everyone in her life is just like, no, you can't come to this, or you can't be included to this. And it's like, I don't know, shouldn't your family be one place where you feel like loved and accepted? I can only imagine how lonely that feels for like her. And yeah, I know people are like, oh, like, Sam, don't, give OP a break because they're autistic, and like, you don't know what it's like to be autistic. And that's for sure. But yeah, I took off my contacts because they were hurting me, so I can't see any of your comments now. But yeah, I don't
Blind
know.
boys.
I'm gonna go get my glasses in a sec. But yeah, I don't know. It feels really difficult. But if it was me and it was my sister, I would include her.
Yeah. To further your point, if it was sat where there was no one around, there wouldn't be any worry of her accidentally hitting somebody. And then she wouldn't have to say all these crazy things like it's unacceptable if you would do that. So it seems like, yeah, we're not going to the solutions and talking about things in a productive way.
Yeah, and it's like, again, like, I think, yes, like what you said about your autism, you can get triggered by these certain things, and for sure that is the case, but I think like if you just say this is triggering towards me to me, so you're not invited. Again, it's not a solution oriented thing. It's just like, all right, I'm not going to look to include you. And so what it feels like is OP is trying to find reasons to exclude rather than trying to find reasons to include. And maybe just OP is not that close with the sister or not. Like, maybe that's the case. But if I love my sister as much as I do, I would find it really hard to not include her.
Low key, I think what could potentially solve this entire situation is, you remember how she was like, oh, if you bring mom or dad into this, then I'll kick all of you guys out of the wedding. Bring in Max and maybe the mom and dad all together, and they can find a solution as a group. I think that might actually do it.
I think that's true.
Better than where we're at.
Josephine Modolo Berquist says, Sam, she's not an a-hole blaming things on her autism. Tourette's is something you can't control, but certain things about autism you can't control either, and they don't give an F about OP struggles. No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think like OP's...
They're not hearing each other.
That's what I'm not discounting OP's autism. I'm saying OP is using their autism as a place where it's like, they're like putting this down. It's like, hey, I have autism and I can't have you doing this at the wedding. Thus, you're uninvited at the wedding, instead of saying, hey, I have autism, I can't have you doing this at the wedding, so let's see what we can do to make sure you feel included and also I'm not triggered, right? So there's like a difference in, I think OP is using the things they get triggered by to exclude rather than to find a way to include. And I think that is the subtle difference here.
Yeah, and those subtleties make a lot of difference sometimes. But we have more. So OP says, I remind her of her Nana's funeral when she said she would be fine and then ended up smacking me in the face. I said that I know Tourette's can be unpredictable, but she's had 32 years to figure out her limits. Just more. Ouch. Oh man. I reminded her that she was consistently misled me about how bad things will be. She swears this time it will actually be fine, that she knows herself better than I do, and it's condescending to assume that she's lying. She also reminds me Nana's wedding was years ago, saying that she's improved, and I remind her that the last elbowing incident was about a month ago.
The more bullet points we get, the more we see of the controllingness, if that makes sense.
Yes, I could not. The more bullets, we just know we're getting into more trouble here. We just know more bullets is more trouble.
I also feel like, and half the audience is against us, right? Actually, can you guys tell us? Can we put a poll? Are we having a good take here? Let us know.
Let us know.
And so I guess like what we're kind of advocating for is finding a better solution. And it feels like what some of you guys are saying are like, hey, OP can not include her if OP wants to not include her, which, I guess it's their wedding too. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, because I feel like this one, again, it's like, it's so like not black and white. This one makes it a tough one.
Bubbles Marie says, man, they need someone to help mediate. OP isn't understanding that she and sister can find a compromise. She can only see one way and needs some help seeing another. Bubbles Marie, I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. That's what I'm saying. But again, I feel like Josephine Modolo Berquist disagrees vehemently. And I think some other of you guys share her disagreement. So it's a hard line to
57% yes, 43% no.
Ooh, that's a split.
Do we have a good take or not? Yes.
Oh, I see.
No.
Yeah. I understand this being a split case.
It's very not black and white. But guys, OP's got more bullets for us, okay? I give up at this point. I'm so tired of her lying. She knows she's lying. I know she's lying. And she knows I know. Ooh, I say fine. You can be in the ceremony if you say you can. But if you hurt someone during the ceremony, you will have to leave immediately. She will be disinvited from the reception. If they sue you, I will not help you financially or help you find a lawyer. Oh, man.
Low key, I know we're all manning at that. I don't like completely hate that. And the reason, like here, it's like, hey, like, you know what? You're right. You might know your boundaries more than me, but like, I just want you, like, if this happens, like, there might be consequences for that. But if you feel like you handle it, like, go ahead. But like, I don't like, you might not be able to come to things after if you actually hurt someone.
Yeah. I guess it's like, would OP, I guess maybe because it's OP's wedding, I was like, would OP be the one responsible in the lawsuit or the person that someone would sue?
I don't think so.
Anyways, it seems like OP sometimes be adding some unnecessary things, it seems. And I will cut you off completely and not speak to you anymore.
A little too far, for me. But
I would say,
let me know what you guys think.
Definitely too far for me. You will not get to meet your nieces or nephews ever. If you are truly willing to risk all of that, you must be truly confident, and I trust you. Otherwise, the nursery room is always open and you can watch on the TV. Whew. I mean,
that's a lot.
I don't know
about that.
We might be approaching a territory where this spat kind of ends the relationship.
This is something I would not do. Personally, I would not do.
Same here. I will agree.
I would not do this. But also, I'm not suffering from the same afflictions as OP. But yeah, I don't know if this is the way.
Yeah. She doesn't answer me, but starts crying and says, how can I do this to her? This is the only way she'll ever be in a wedding in any way. No one else wants her, but her own family should. It's not fair, and she just wants one time in her life to be in a wedding. This is
come on.
She feels so abandoned, man.
Yeah, come on.
And I don't feel like we've got some acknowledgement, but I don't feel like she was embraced for that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude, she just wants a little love. She just wants a little love. And what is it? Like, a wedding, honestly, is about bringing people you love together. It's not about the picture perfect moment. Going back to our thing, it's like, why would some people choose perfect over like family, or perfect over the people you love? Yeah, it's about celebrating love and the people you love. Also the love between these two people that are getting married, but it's really about just like extending love to everyone there. And man, I don't know.
We can lose the point in
who's saying emotional manipulation?
I think they were saying that that's what OP's doing, because she's like, hey, if you really want to lose contact with your nieces and nephews and cut us all off and do all this forever, then you can do it, because I'll trust you if that's how you feel.
Can you give a brief TLDR to Hannah while I get my glasses? So I'm not squinting.
Quick TLDR. So basically, OP is on the spectrum. OP has autism, and sister has Tourette's. She said, hey, sis, I don't want you at the wedding. If you have a tic that could interrupt my husband's vows, someone could get accidentally schmacked from a tic, and they have been just kind of going back and forth on this. Could she be at the reception of the wedding? That is the question that we are trying to answer here. Allie says it is 100% emotional manipulation, because OP might have been the test subject for something plus a last family event she got hurt. Because OP might have been the test subject for everything plus last family event she got hurt. Oh, is it emotional manipulation by Megan? I might have misinterpreted that. Yeah, again, there's so many sides and layers and gray area in this one. It seems. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think. And then Dakota's Gam, oof, the situation really sucks. I don't think OP is obligated to include her sister, especially when she has her own well-being to consider. Yeah, it is very much a tough one. Awkwardly Cosplay Chick says OP is twisting the knife. Yeah, that's also what I'm feeling here. I think that she can say her points without going so incredibly just far with it. We can say things honestly in a way that is not as intense. Like, I will cut you off forever and you will never see my kids or me or anyone of us ever again. And Jellyba, I did take some meds today. Your boy's going down. And Helena Bain says, to close it out, put it this way. Megan B at the ceremony would be like knowing your affair partner knows the time and place of your wedding, and you are waiting for them to show up and burn everything down. I don't know if that was sarcastic, but yeah. There's a lot going on here. But Opie says, this is a lot of information for me to process. So I just kind of pick out one piece and blurt it out before I can process the whole rest. Why don't you think you'll get married? Megan responds, are you delusional? Nobody would ever want to marry me.
Aww. She just wants love, OP. She just wants love.
She wants love. I know this is really insensitive, but I wasn't trying to be mean. It was just my first reaction. I didn't think about it. I just said it flatly. Megan, you're being really stupid. This seemed to shock her into silence. I continued, you're very smart, you're very pretty, and you work out, and you're a good person. There are lots of people out there that you haven't met yet that could be a great match. Maybe even someone who has Tourette's too. Aww. So writing yourself off preemptively and giving up is incredibly dumb.
Aww. That's actually sweet.
This is the best exchange. Now we're
getting into.
This is what I've been looking for.
This is the juice.
See each other emotionally. That is all I was waiting for. And I know OP has a harder time with it, albeit, but I'm glad we're here now. So she sighs and says that you don't get it. I say, yes, I do. That I never thought anyone would understand me until I met Max. More emotional connection. I tell her that she stayed in our hometown her whole life, and there's a reason that I didn't marry anyone from our hometown. I did something off script, which surprised me. But I said, I know she doesn't like big crowds, but she should come to the city with me and Max, or just me. I said she should try and meet new people. She seemed taken aback and almost horrified by the thought, so I said something that was probably offensive. Sorry. There's an 80% chance a homeless tweaker will be doing something way more disruptive than you at any given time. She got really quiet and didn't say anything, so I reiterated my points. I'm not ashamed of the tics in and of themselves. I'm worried about the potential harm they could cause. The motor tics are self-explanatory, and the vocal tics will distress me and make me uncomfortable. If she wants to bet our entire relationship on her confidence that she won't motor tic and hurt someone, she can be my guest, but I'm done. She starts begging me, why can't I get a bigger venue so the bridesmaids have more room and a place an inanimate object near in case she gets the elbowing tic? Or why did I pick so many bridesmaids when I knew she would be one and she would be crowded? Why can't I just say my vows in private? Why can't I just ignore her when she ticks? Why? Finally, she said she felt like I didn't take her needs into consideration and planned the wedding without thinking about her at all. I snapped, of course I didn't think about you. It's my effing wedding. Mine. I've spent my entire life thinking of you and how things might affect you and what you need instead of what I do. I moved this far away so I could stop thinking about you. Oof. You got everything. You got mom and dad's attention, all the sympathy, all the money went towards your treatments. I didn't get to see a therapist. Just drive you to and from your appointments. When I was 9, you slammed a car door on my hand because of your tics and broke my finger. Do you remember that? Mom and dad were more concerned about me reassuring you that I didn't blame you than my broken finger.
What just happened? What just happened here?
It's getting crazy. Everything is about you and your feelings. Oh, Megan is taking too much to pack her backpack. You get it, Michelle. I know she threw a vase at your head during a rage fit, but Michelle, imagine how bad she feels. Megan sitting alone at lunch again, be a good sister and abandon your friends to sit with her. And now I can't even have my own wedding without making about you. F off.
Okay, really quick.
Yes.
Really quick, we've talked about this before. When you have a golden child, whose fault is it?
The parents.
It's the parents' fault. Don't blame Megan for what the parents did. I feel like OP is kind of blaming, and I see why OP is mad now, right? There's like a lot behind this. This is like a whole childhood of Megan being prioritized, but I do... it feels like there's a little bit of like maybe somewhat misplaced anger where it's like because of how the parents enabled the sister, OP is now mad at the sister. And I guess like Megan is still representing some of the like now carrying that herself into adulthood. But I don't know if we want to fully blame Megan for all of that childhood stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I think also being like, putting your foot down too and saying like, hey, like I do want to ensure that I'm thinking about my wedding at my wedding and I can't just have everything about you. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think the point of like I wanted one thing for my own is a very, very real feeling that she very much deserves to express and have. She's like, finally, I have this thing that is mine, and I get to do. And I do think while this has been an insane journey up until this point, I do think maybe this was like Destiny's a silver line of destiny where they kind of needed to have this conversation.
Yeah. And
this kind of like forced them into the room to talk about each other. And it's a very, very bumpy road, but I feel like even if they don't understand each other, they're at least now fully getting to hear and understand everything that the other is thinking and feeling.
Yeah. No, and I think that is like amazing progress. And I'm looking at chat right now and I see like we're split. There's people defending Megan, there's people defending OP, there's people are like, hey, like Megan is asking for OP's wedding, an event that should be about like OP and her love with her partner, to be about her, to be about Megan. And like that's not fair. And basically she's taking this golden child syndrome that we're of always being prioritized in childhood into adulthood. And then I see on the other hand like people saying like, hey, like Megan really has never fully felt accepted by her friends. She's always been disinvited from weddings. She feels like always the black sheep. And yes, maybe her parents try to make her feel included, but she never felt fully accepted by her sister. And so like, is there something that OP can do to make her feel fully accepted? So to be clear, like this is complicated. There's two sides that have like valid points on both. So don't worry, we see all of your comments, but I do want us to both I do want everyone to understand that like there are two distinct and difficult to manage desires here. Haley O'Bain says this is a rock meets a hard place. In this situation, the person whose wedding it is gets the win.
Yeah, it's so complicated. It's a coin toss, and that that does make sense. That does make sense, And I'm sure also many people would say like, if I was the sister and this was her wedding, it's like, okay, maybe I'll give her what she wants for this wedding. There's so many different ways that you can look at it, but I'm hoping that they're able to see the emotional pain that each has felt and have this kind of unite them in the end.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping is the direction we are heading towards.
And I think when we start to establish nuance by having conversations like that, where it's not just I'm 100% right or you're 100% right, that's where connection can happen. And so, yeah, there is like Duchess Cassandra says, Megan is so stuck in the expectation of being prioritized, she can't see her own sister's struggles. That's true.
Yes.
But again, there's also a lot of truth on Megan's side too. So what I think we're trying to say is like, there's not like actually a completely right answer here. It's complicated, but when you have conversations like these, you kind of like unfold how complicated it is and actually maybe see enough nuance to accept each other.
We've destroyed the room and it's messy, and now we're going to put it back cleaner than it was. Now Megan was silent and then hung up. Something else that was brought up in the comments that has now been resolved. Yes, Max has feelings about my family dynamic, but always allowed me to dictate it, both because he knows that I like control and because he doesn't have much experience with disabilities. What was that?
It's a green flag.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Both at the same time. You don't know which one it is. 95% of the things we offer feedback to the other that we think they need it, seek advice, discuss, etc. But for my family, he never really said anything except a variation of, I support your decision. He said that he would like to have an input, especially as they will soon be his family as well, and hopefully interacting with our future children. I can get annoyed because his mom's uses therapy speak pretty regularly and it's been passed on to both of her kids. Secretly, I think he thinks he's sort of an honorary therapist. Don't know anyone who would think that of themselves. That would be freaking ridiculous.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Like therapists, but better because they're free and you could listen to them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. PST every weekday.
I would never associate myself with anybody
like
that.
Never at all.
That would be crazy. And because he was raised by a therapist and got treated by another, earlier in our relationship, when I was accepting his advice for family matters, he would say things like, you seem to have an avoidant attachment style, probably from being ignored by your parents in childhood. Ooh. He's going for it. Ooh. He's going for it.
I mean, sit back on that one.
He's therapizing.
I mean, that's probably true, which is why he's trying to why OP's trying to be distanced from her sister.
Yeah, maybe we should listen to your therapist, not therapist, fiance.
I don't know, kind of good.
I told him in no uncertain terms that I did not care to be psychoanalyzed, and that was that. We talked about it a lot, but the gist of it is that he has had opinions on my family and struggles with his instinct to protect me and his desire to respect my decisions. From now on, I am going to listen to him and take his opinions into consideration when deciding about family matters.
Kind of sounds wise, honestly.
Yeah, and another silver lining that initially she was like totally pushing back, and now she's like, let me get your thoughts and like talk through this with you. It's great. We could all use a sounding board. He promised me to stop the therapy talk and says that was more of him being 21 and trying to impress me with big words. Are they all like 21?
No. Well, the sister's 32, correct?
Oh, right. This must have been back in the day. I have noticed that he doesn't really do it anymore. So after my call with Megan, I walked into our shared bedroom. Oh, they share a bedroom. Oh, no, that's with her fiance. JK. And he didn't have time to ask how it went before I burst into tears. He held me for a while. I am fine with physical touch and affection, especially from him, as long as it's not unexpected. Eventually, my phone started ringing again, and I saw that it was Mom. I told Max that I didn't want to talk to her, but if I didn't pick up, it would become a whole thing. Capital W, capital T. He just silently held out his hand, and when I realized what he meant, I put my phone in it. The conversation wasn't on speaker, and I didn't really care enough to try and listen to what she said. And for the most part, I don't remember what he said after telling my mom I couldn't come to the phone, just the beginning. Well, Michelle's crying too. I think you should be just as concerned about that. And the end, yeah, well, my parents have said that they'd be more than happy to walk her down the aisle, so you should think on that. I told Max about these posts, and he was a little confused, but supportive, and thinks it's funny how I've picked out names starting with M for everyone, and I have not had any more calls from my family. But Max called his mother, a very nice lady, and put her on speaker, and she reiterated she'd be happy to walk me down the aisle with her husband. Man, if it comes to that. So that is it for now. I find the anonymity very freeing, as well as writing down what happened, so I will update you all as soon as there is one. By the way, if you are looking for an update to anything, an update for your life, an update to your story, I know exactly where you can find one. In fact,
We both know.
thousands or tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of stories right into your ear holes directly. It's that.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app. Search OK Story Time, and you'll have endless content, full episodes with stories just like this.
Get on over there. Start listening.
But Sam, we actually have a fourth and final update.
Oh.
A very conclusive update.
I want to know, did Megan go to the wedding? That's what I want to know.
That's what we might not get that. But I guess kind of closing thoughts, putting a bow on this story and conversation. What are you thinking right now after all that's been said and done?
What do I think is going to happen?
Yeah, let's go with what's going to happen.
I think the sister is not going to go to the vows. Is there an update?
Well, this happened 11 days ago.
Okay.
This is recent.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I have a feeling like OP, at a minimum, OP is not going to relent, to be honest, given how...
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there hasn't been softening. And if anything, there's been a hardening.
Yes. Like she tries to say like, oh, you can come, but it's like, as long as you're okay with potentially never seeing me or the children or my husband or blank.
Yeah.
Let's get into update number 4.
Harry
Titled,
Spaghetti says, this story has me triggered AF. Tell me why.
Tell us
Let me know why.
Update number 4, an update and goodbye. Max and I have officially disinvited Megan and my parents from the wedding.
Wow.
I am getting love and support from his family. I've got all the advice I feel I've needed, so I'm going to delete this account as it has served its purpose. I'll leave this up for a little while before I do, so people who are invested can see it. Thank you for all the advice and all the help.
Whoa. I think there's some like very broken familial dynamics here that just are so twisted that, I mean, it would take, you just need hella therapy, all three of you.
Yeah, this might be overly optimistic, but while we have kind of burned down the structure of the familial unit, I do wonder if the things learned and exchanged in this insane nuking of familial dynamics could be a phoenix.
It does feel like, or it did feel for a moment, it kind of like crashed and burned.
Yeah.
It did feel like for a moment, like there was some like, I see you and you see me, you know? So, yeah, it's just sad. This is sad. No one wins. Harry Spaghetti says, to answer the question, why are you triggered? Because I understand the feeling of being deprioritized your whole life for a sibling with more complex needs and then being villainized the one time you put boundaries in place to have your moment. Yeah, it sucks. But that's where that story ends.
It's true.
I mean, Harry Spaghetti, thank you for sharing your perspective.
And everyone
I think
today.
it's pretty, and everyone who went through this is a polarizing story, which I'm sure we'll hear about in the YouTube comments and definitely the Facebook comments. They will be coming for our throats, but luckily that's my kink. So choke me, daddy.
Okay.
My siblings complained so much about my dream wedding that now I want to cut them off.
Adam.
Shah! I'm one of 3, I'm the middle child, in our 30s, and no one in my family has married. We have no extended relatives and have never attended a wedding together. My mom hasn't been to a wedding in 30 years, and my sister has been to 1 wedding, my brother, 2. So I guess me and my brother have been to 2. I've been to approximately 20 weddings. By the way, this comes from user OCandle on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So we got engaged in 2021, and my family was excited. We got married earlier this year in Italy and made it a 3-day event with our 80 guests. We paid for it all ourselves and saved a long time to make it as nice as possible for our friends and family. We booked a 4-star hotel, paying 50 to 75% of each room for our bridal party guests, which is not something we have ever experienced ourselves, but we wanted to make sure all of our friends could come.
I want to get married to this family, bro.
We put on a rehearsal lunch for family at a starred restaurant, and we had a cocktail evening with all our guests, and everything was covered. Our wedding was like a dream. The food, the music, the flowers, it was beyond what I could even imagine, and we had such a brilliant time. The only thing that interrupted our day was torrential rain as we were traveling from the church and then dining. It meant we couldn't get our couples portraits. The day after our wedding, my husband and I spent some time getting the missed photos with our photographer. My sister left the hotel to spend the day with my dad, brother, and his girlfriend, and some family friends who were staying outside. When he came back, she wouldn't talk to me, and instead of staying the last night, she abruptly checked out. The following day, we wanted to have a family lunch with my husband and my family, who hadn't met before this weekend as they live in different parts of the world. My mom, sister, and brother said they didn't want to join and instead went shopping, which was fine. They left that same day, so there was no chance to say goodbye. I sent a pre and post flight message checking my sister got back okay. She didn't respond until the next day, saying that she didn't feel sociable and didn't want to message anyone. I left it until the week after when I asked if she had birthday plans. Initially, she said she didn't, and then eventually said she'd planned something with my brother and that I was explicitly not invited because of how I treated him and her at my wedding. She listed these issues. I spent too much time talking to other people and walking to other tables to chat to my guests. I danced with my guests, but I should have danced more with her and him. My brother and his girlfriend were sat at the end of the family/bridal party table instead of next to my maid of honor and me. I didn't ask for a photo booth photo with them. I didn't ask anyone for one of those, by the way. I was deep in the cocktails and dancing a lot. My brother, quote, wasted money buying a suit, and I didn't make an effort to get good photos with him. And I later found lots of good photos in the photo gallery that the photographer delivered. I didn't thank my brother and girlfriend in my speech because they didn't help with anything, and they showed no interest at all. And in the months up to the wedding, I didn't even receive a single message asking how everything was going. My brother only messaged to push me to buy him a suit in a series of messages, getting quite angry as I dictated the dress code, so I should be covering his attire. She's mad because she's like, yeah, you made him buy this suit and he wasted all his money on this suit.
That he's complaining about.
As someone who just got a suit, money well spent. Her room, which was next to mine, was smaller than the other maids of honor, and she said that it was deliberate, which it wasn't. I did not see all of the other rooms in advance. She was also really annoyed at having to pay anything at all for her room, and she was told that well in advance because she's, quote, my sister. She said I should have paid the full cost for her, implied, I think, for her making the effort to come. As for all of my bridesmaids, I paid for their clothes, shoes, and a box of gifts. She didn't thank me for any of these and has since sold one.
Dude, she's so entitled. It's
Dude.
insane.
Like I said, spoiled brats.
Yeah. And here's a note. Where I am from, it is usual for bridesmaids to buy their own dresses and shoes. Similarly, when I asked my brother if he got back okay from a long vacation that they took in Italy after the wedding, he said that he felt sad that, quote, we didn't get to spend a lot of time together, further making me feel terrible about my wedding day. Later in the year, my brother also didn't invite me to his birthday. I spent the weeks after my wedding in a really dark place and I cried a lot. It's been months now and my sister and brother act like nothing happened. I've put this to bed mostly, and I have had a distant relationship with them since. It took a few months for each of them to send a card, and the text in both is eerily similar. They both called my wedding, quote, spectacular, but didn't say anything further, really. And it's not about this, but they, along with my mom, were also the only guests not to give a gift at all, even a bottle of wine. Completely thoughtless. Financially, we're all in the same places with a significant amount of savings, homeowners, etc., and usually my sister is generous. So I know this is a further comment about how they felt mistreated at my wedding. Culturally, in my background, it is very unusual not to give a wedding gift. And by the way, I would find it very unusual if you didn't join us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. All you got to do is tap our profile.
Give that gift to yourself.
And there's a little bit more relevant update here, but let's discuss. I mean, clearly these people.
I am appalled. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. I don't know how this sister could be so entitled that she gets a trip to Italy.
Yeah.
It's both of them,
Not
the sister
enough.
and the brother.
Not enough.
Yeah. Partly he's being paid for by OP, and they're like, not enough.
Okay, here's the update though. Although mostly I am okay now, this still comes back to me at points, and I'm at a loss to understand it. I've had therapy and that's helped, but I still see my siblings at family events, and I get the "we should hang out more" texts every so often, but I just don't want to engage, which understandable. I wouldn't want to engage either after that. It's like, what?
Dude, you've ruined any chance of me wanting to be in your life.
Yeah.
By just being such a snob-nosed person.
Yeah, just looking all the way down your nose.
Also, Jellybutt, I talked to Mike not too long ago, and he was talking to me about getting married in Italy.
So I got the "we should hang out" texts every so often, but I just don't want to engage. They were both really uninterested in the wedding, not really asking details. My sister being very unavailable for dress shopping, etc. So it really surprised me to get all those complaints afterwards. Can anyone relate? And that is the end. I cannot relate.
I cannot relate.
I can't relate.
But I can tell you that I hate what you're going through, and you do not deserve that at all.
Yeah. No, it's
no one
it's
should
a
ever have
shame.
to relate to what you are going through right now.
And
This
hopefully
sucks.
time will like sort of heal that.
Yeah.
And
I don't think this
it
is like
won't
cut
be-
off worthy. I don't think this is no
No.
contact, but
I would just get a reasoning of like, why were you treating me so harshly? And don't be like, oh, we gave you a list. Like, that's a BS list.
yeah, like that was a...
Like,
You're upset that I'm talking to other people at the wedding? Like what? Like what was this supposed to be, like the three of us having a play date? And we're the only ones that are allowed to hang out with each other?
yeah,
Like
it's our wedding? The hell?
it's a wedding for everybody here. Yeah, I have to talk to them.
I've been there for my brother through everything, but now he's at the center of a drama tornado.
Get to the eye of the storm.
Get to the eye. I, 26 female, got engaged to John, 30 male, in 2018. We only got married in 2022. I met my now ex-best friend Sarah in 2019. My entire family loved her and accepted her as another daughter since she had a difficult relationship with her parents. She had been living with her long-term boyfriend at the time. We did everything together. I trusted her wholeheartedly and even made her the godmother of our son. So when all of this unfolded, to say that I was heartbroken is understated.
Dude, what a way to set up the story.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
By the way, this comes from Different Promise 955 on the OK Storytime subreddit. My brother Gary, 30 male, and I always had a super tight relationship. He had struggled with finding a good partner, and when he finally found the woman we all thought he was going to marry, she cheated on him. Ouch.
Damn.
She had done this in front of me at a church event, so I was the only one who told my brother. At church? Come on,
church?
girl.
You don't do the dirty at church.
He had broken things off with her and went through an extremely bad depression. Again, I was there. I was the only one taking care of him. I helped him pick up the pieces, and slowly he got better until he didn't.
OP was the only one taking care of him because no one else knew, or just because no one else was supporting him?
I think no one else was supporting.
Aw,
Yeah.
poor brother.
I got home after work one day and found him in bed sick as a dog. It took me a minute, but I realized that he tried to end his life.
Oh, poor brother.
I saved him.
Oh my God.
After that, we got even closer, and I honestly love my brother more than my parents. This was part of the reason why I waited so long to get married. That makes sense. I mean, you were dealing with a lot of really, really hard stuff with your family.
Yeah, to have anyone in your
Yeah.
life dealing with suicidal ideation and it to be your brother, like
Yeah.
that's a huge burden to carry.
Yeah. Fast forward to January 2022, and we had been planning our wedding for that December. My brother was asked to be best man, and my best friend was maid of honor. My fiance and my brother were honestly the best of friends, so it wasn't a push decision on my part. We were a tight-knit family, and we were all happy. Then my brother met his girlfriend, Kim. They had started dating December of 2021, so she was fairly new, but she seemed nice. Slowly, though, we saw red flags.
She seemed nice. They seemed
seemingly.
happy.
And only 3 months after the relationship had started, Gary had been in deep debt, drinking more and seeing us less.
Wait, Gary's the brother?
Yes. Okay. I believe so. We kept trying to invite them over, but they would always say no. If they did come over, Kim would ignore us and stare at her phone. She was 20 at this point, and my brother was 28.
Dude, what a huge developmental gap. I
I mean,
for
she's
age
20.
gaps,
Yeah.
but like 20 is a child.
20 is, yeah. And also, I mean, she's around like these Like, how old is OP? Probably 30s?
I think so.
I'm assuming something like that.
Early 30s, I think.
Brother Gary is 30 now. Oh, 26 and 30. So just like a 20-year-old with kind of a lot of older people.
I was a child when I was 20.
Yeah. All of us had really put an effort to make her feel welcome, but she was ice cold.
Oh.
My son's birthday is in June, and we always plan elaborate parties, so everyone was invited. The day went off without a hitch, but again, Kim was one-sided, giving us one-worded answers and staring at her phone. She just feels very childlike, yeah. Disclaimer, she doesn't have social anxiety, and she was a well-known party girl and had plans virtually every weekend.
She just like didn't want to be there.
She's just like a normal 20-year-old. Gary well, I mean, like not the ignoring, just the party girl stuff.
Yeah. She sounds worse than a normal 20-year-old.
Yeah. No, not the ignoring everyone. That's not normal. That's weird.
Strange.
But like they were like, she was a known party girl and she goes out every weekend. It's like a 20-year-old behavior.
Yeah, that's what Sophia does.
No.
She's in the club.
In the club. No.
That's her club dance.
That's my club dance. Gary started to become less dependent on her, and at the birthday party had engaged with us more than he did in the past 6 months of them dating. Why is he dependent on a 20-year-old? That's embarrassing.
Well, he's dating her.
I know, but like, why are you dependent on a 20-year-old? You're 28. Don't be dependent on a 20-year-old.
What do you mean? What does that mean, dependent?
I don't know. Dependent.
Like
emotionally?
It said dependent.
Okay.
Like
why are you
like
dependent?
bro can't do his own thing without her being around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's Friday night. I can't do anything without my girlfriend.
Dude, some people are like that with their relationships.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is sad. But also, I just think like he's 28 and she's 20 and he's like
he should have his life together.
Yeah.
Sophia's saying
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is my point.
Sure.
I got you, girl.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Sarah was also there. Her boyfriend at the time was working in another town, so I obviously included her everywhere, even though she didn't need the invite. Finally, Sarah's back in the story. I was wondering when she would show up.
The best friend?
Yeah. She's a super bubbly girl and had an easy time connecting to people. Gary and Sarah had talked for a bit, nothing weird. There was no touching, no flirting, and most of the time it was general conversation when all of us were together. Later that week, Gary told me that Kim was going to visit her parents for the weekend, so he was free for some wedding planning. He came over to our house and we had the best time. Sarah came by a little later and again, we all just joked, listened to some music options, and decided on a menu for the wedding.
Yo, I'm kind of shipping Gary and Sarah.
I feel like, but they're both booed up.
Oh, Sarah's too?
Sarah has a boyfriend and Gary has a 20-year-old.
What do I always say?
What do you always say?
Swap?
No, don't let your girlfriend stop you from finding your wife.
Oh.
I guess that's the case.
I say just unlink,
Yeah.
relink, and then they could relink.
Exactly.
Yep. And then if you guys don't feel good about it, unlink and then relink back.
Yeah.
Relink.
Just relinking.
Yeah.
You know?
Sarah went home and my brother passed out on our couch. Saturday morning, we ate breakfast and he said that he was going later that afternoon.
Yo.
About 2 weeks later, I got angry messages from Kim asking me if I knew about Sarah and Gary sleeping together. I knew it.
Do you think that's what happened?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Hmm.
I was shocked. Where? How? When? I was flabbergasted.
I could tell.
I showed my husband the screenshot of the messages between them, and he was just as sickened by their actions
But do
as
we
I
know
was.
if it's
Do we know for
true?
sure? It turns out that Gary went to Sarah's house that Saturday afternoon
Oh.
and spent the evening
Oh, I guess it's true.
Doing puzzles.
doing
Yeah.
puzzles.
What? They were just,
They were
I
just
did.
trying to fit
having
the
some
pieces together.
tea and fitting some pieces of puzzles
Yeah,
together.
dude. I do puzzles all the time.
Yeah, that's why you're so tired right now, man.
Okay. All right. My heart broke for Kim. Even though we had no real relationship, it is awful to get cheated on. So I supported her.
Oh.
I phoned Sarah and started screaming at her, asking her what the fudge was wrong with her. She cried and instead of apologizing, asked me to talk to Kim to not tell her boyfriend. Sarah.
Wait, what?
Basically, OP called her best friend Sarah and was like,
Oh.
how could you cheat with Gary, my brother. And then Kim was like, Sarah was like, can you call Kim and make sure she doesn't tell my boyfriend?
Oh, wow.
Audacity.
Yeah, seriously.
Audacity.
Audacity.
I told her in no uncertain terms that if she doesn't tell him and Kim does, that is not my problem. I told Kim that if she needed anything, I'm there. I also told Gary that he effed up and he needed to make things right with everyone. Now here's where I apparently am the a-hole. Kim forbade Gary to come over to our house since she believed their chemistry developed there.
Wait.
Kim's staying with Gary?
So Kim forbade
20-year-old.
Yes.
Gary.
Forbade Gary from going over to his own sister's
house. Yes, because he believed that Sarah and Gary's chemistry developed there.
Yeah.
Why aren't you breaking up with Gary? I told Kim that if Gary wanted to come over, he could.
Yeah.
She then told me that Sarah was not welcome at our house. I again shut it down and told her I wouldn't invite Sarah over if Gary was there and vice versa. But it is our choice.
Yeah, it's not
Kim's
Kim's decision if OP's best friend could come over to her house.
Also, like, Kim, just break up with Gary. Why are you staying with Gary? You're 20. You have a whole life to live. I had a long conversation with my fiance, and we decided that our wedding would stay as is. I was fuming at Sarah, but she was my best friend and my son's godmother.
Yeah, also, like, in OP's experience, like, to have your best friend hook up with your brother.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Not a good look. I completely understood where Kim was coming from, and I asked her if there was anything surrounding the wedding where they didn't have to see Sarah. I wouldn't let it happen. At this point, the only events that were left were our bachelor parties, and it was separate, so it would only be the wedding. I moved the seating charts so they wouldn't be close together. I kept having separate meetings with the groomsmen and the bridesmaids so they wouldn't see each other. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Kim then said that if Sarah was invited, she would not attend. But, like, you don't like Kim.
Wait, what?
Kim saying that if Sarah comes, she's not going to come.
Yeah.
But you don't like Kim, so, like, does it really matter if she doesn't attend?
Oh.
Like, does it matter?
Mm.
I mean, if you're going to be friends with Sarah, that's your own choice because she's clearly, like, made some morally bad judgments. Moral lapses. But you said you're still going to be friends with Sarah and you don't like Kim. So do we care if she attends?
Yeah, and also Sarah is the bridesmaid.
Bridesmaid.
So she's definitely coming to the wedding.
I told her that I respected her decision, but I would leave a spot for her just in case. My brother assured me that he would be there, and we tried to accommodate Kim the most. 2 months before the wedding, Gary stopped at her house, and he was just venting about how stupid of a decision it was, and that Kim treats him horribly. I told him that he needed to fix things, and even made her a special bouquet of roses and a bracelet, so that she would know she had some support. This is weird.
It's gonna get weirder.
This is okay. The next day, Kim sent me a horrible message on how I knew she didn't want Gary at her house and how I'm a B-word for letting him into our home after what he did.
Wait. What? Kim was like, you're a B-word for letting your own brother into your own home.
I told her that even though I sympathized, Gary was my brother and he was welcome at our home anytime. We got into a heated argument and she hung up on me. Gary asked what happened and I sent him screenshots, which he read but never replied to. About a week later, I got my hair done and my hairdresser, a party girl herself, sheepishly admitted that she knew Kim was actively cheating on Gary.
No, dude, this just got wild.
She had photos of Kim sitting on some guy's lap and a video of her rubbing herself against him.
Whoa.
How do I know it was recent? She was wearing the bracelet I gave her. And other recent news, you can join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. Just tap our profile. But we're going to talk before we finish this story.
What the heck?
Why is Kim still here? Bro,
Yeah.
Okay. Ignoring, like, let's say...
No one likes Kim.
Let's
Not
say-
even her own partner.
Yeah, let's ignore the fact that Kim fully is cheating on Gary for a second. Just, like, put that to the side. OP never liked Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Count one.
Okay.
OP, it's your house, and Kim keeps trying to tell you
Who you can let
who
into your
you can
own
let
damn
into
house.
your house. Count 2.
Yeah.
Count 3. Why are you trying to apologize to Kim? Like, I'm sorry, if my...
I think she's just trying to be sweet. Like, yeah,
I
I'm
don't know, that's
sympathetic.
weird.
But then, yeah, Kim
It's
is
like,
like trying to put boundaries on OP's house.
Yeah, that's your, like, brother's almost ex. I don't know, they're still kind of together. It's weird.
They're very much together.
They're together. They should be exes.
Okay, and then now...
Well, now she cheated.
Yeah.
So it's like you literally... Stop talking to Kim. No one likes Kim. There's more. The hairdresser then told me she told
This is
Gary
wild.
and sent him the videos,
Oh,
and
wow.
he said nothing back.
How long ago did she tell Gary?
That's a good question. I decided that this isn't my circus. He knew, and they both did crappy things, so I was going to focus on our wedding. Gary phoned me that night, and
Oh.
Kim was screaming in the
Oh.
background that it was revenge cheating,
Oh.
and she would let him know when she was done screwing the guy in the
Oh my
video.
God.
Gary told
This
me
is
that
heinous.
yeah. Gary told me that if Sarah was going to the wedding, he will not.
Wait, what? Why?
Because probably Kim is like, you can't go to the wedding if Sarah's going, because he cheated with Sarah.
I want...
My heart sunk. I cried for weeks, but Gary had blocked me on everything
What?
and refused to speak to me.
What? Why
this
is
is-
Gary blocking you?
This is someone who literally saved his life. His
Yeah,
sister.
His sister. And the one person that supported him.
Throughout everything.
And also, what did OP even do? that
Nothing.
Gary was the one who
Yeah.
cheated on his partner
That's-
with Sarah. And why is that OP's...
Well, I feel like that's the
The-
thing with people pleasing. Like you jump through so many hoops to try and please everyone, and they're still not going to be happy because they're taking advantage of you. Sarah was aware of everything and decided that she wouldn't attend the wedding. So 2 of the most important people
Aw,
didn't attend. Wait, so
poor
Gary didn't come
OP.
or Sarah? Ugh. Here we are 2 years later, and I haven't spoken to Gary, Kim, or Sarah since. Was I wrong for not cutting one of them off immediately? I feel like it was a mess they made, and Kim had no right to tell me to cut Sarah off. But with all of this time passed, I still wonder if I did anything wrong.
I don't think you did anything
No,
wrong.
you didn't do.
I
Like you
don't
literally
think it
just got
was-
dragged into this really messy situation.
I don't think it was necessary to cut anyone
No.
off. Again, like you
Oh,
said,
well,
wasn't...
Kim, but yeah,
But I mean, but it wasn't...
but that wouldn't have been OP's decision.
like, OP wasn't wronged in any way by anyone.
No.
Kim was being ridiculous by making requests, but you didn't need
Yes.
to cut her off because of these requests. Just like ignore it.
Yeah.
But no one needed to be cut off on your end. They, in their
No.
own mess of relationships, could have
Yeah.
cut each other off.
They literally dragged you into it for no reason other than you knew all 3 of them.
Yeah, but I don't know why they're not talking to OP anymore.
It's very
OP
strange.
did not do
It's
anything
very strange.
wrong.
Also, just the fact that Gary's still with this Kim.
And it just makes me sad. And I'm just pissed off
Yeah.
because, again, like, OP was the only one there for her brother.
Yeah,
her
they're for all of these
sibling.
people, really.
Yeah, and then her brother's going to cut her off for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Weird. But that is the end
Anywho.
of that story.
I warned my sister's friend to get security for her wedding to keep my problematic sister out.
Keep her out
Be gone from me.
and stay out.
My sister, we'll call her Susan, 37 female, got married a while back. Her friends were a huge help to her and also the bridesmaids for her wedding. By the way, this comes from user Persephone on Earth. And you can submit your story to r/OK Storytime. Now, one of the bridesmaids, let's call her Buffy, 37 female, has been her friend for almost 20 years now and was the maid of honor at Susan's wedding. They have had arguments and then rekindled their friendship over and over again over the years. Buffy has been super excited about her own upcoming wedding. She had been wearing a placeholder engagement ring, didn't make a big deal of her wedding at Susan's wedding, just casually mentioned it was happening to those who had come from states away who were also her friends, not random people. She was very respectful and put out a ton of fires so Susan wouldn't be stressed as much about her wedding, and just generally went above and beyond for Susan. Now that Buffy's wedding is getting closer, she tried to lean a little on Susan for help with hers, since Susan was going to be her maid of honor too. Susan has constantly made excuses for why she can't help, has constantly asked Buffy to do favors for her instead or generally just brushed her off. How are you going to hit someone with the Uno reverse card after they were the maid of honor at your wedding? You're like, actually, could you do me a favor? All this came to a head when Susan was moving into a new house with her husband. Her husband suddenly got deployed to Gaza, so he ended up not being able to help with the move. She has been complaining about being lonely, how hard her life is, how she'll be all alone and has to do everything herself. She knew when she married him that he might be deployed for possibly years at a time. She complains about how she's always worried he won't come back, which is valid and awful, but she acts like her own actions have no impact on him being sent to Gaza. She convinced him not to take a deployment to Japan just before the fighting started. Her reason, she would have to learn a new language and would have no friends. She also had demanded that they get a dog just before the wedding, and now that he's not here, the dog doesn't get walked and is stuck in a crate almost all day. She refuses to try and train her. She complains constantly about the dog getting into her chocolate and says it's not her fault she keeps eating it. Susan has never tried to keep it somewhere out of the dog's reach. Buffy gave her solid and valid advice, but she ignored it. Susan just keeps giving Buffy these long rants about how bad the dog behaves, but does nothing about it. Susan demanded that Buffy and her other bridesmaid, let's call her Jeannie, 36 female, come over and help her move into the new house. Buffy and Jeannie explained that they were already super busy with the wedding work and had taken a lot of time to listen to her, that Susan hadn't accepted any of their advice and they needed to focus now on arrangements for Buffy's wedding. They said they were disappointed she wasn't helping them and often distracted from or derailed conversations about the wedding to focus on Susan instead. Susan exploded on them. Susan laid into them about how she does so much for them, how she always buys them things, which she does buy stuff, but often things they never asked her to buy. She does it on her own whim, and that they should be dropping everything to help her right now. She said a lot more horrible things to both of them and screamed at them for never helping her when she needed it. Hello, do you not remember this was the maid of honor at your wedding? Jeannie have decided to go no contact with her. I apologized to both of them for having to deal with it, but that this is classic Susan behavior since we've been kids.
Classic Susan, always ruining friendships and lives.
They asked a bit more about it, and I explained how things were growing up, that she's manipulative and has always been the golden child, got everything she ever wanted, and if I denied her anything, I would be punished, so she came to expect this of everyone around her. They were shocked because she had been telling them that I had been doing all this stuff to her. I told them that she has mastered Darvo when she was a kid, so it really didn't shock me. I apologized to them both sincerely because they did not deserve this, and I thanked them for having put up with her and been her friends for all this time. I told them that it was Susan's loss to throw away such patient and lovely people. They emphasized that I wasn't the one who needed to apologize, and especially not apologize for her crappy behavior. That was something she should be doing. I'm now torn on whether I should warn Buffy to get security because I wouldn't be shocked if she went to the wedding and made a scene. She has done this kind of thing to me many, many times. For my graduation dinner, she threw a massive screaming fit because she didn't want to go to a sushi restaurant. My dad said it was fine and we would do it some other time and took us to her favorite place instead. What? No, at that point, you're being excluded. The grown sister throws a tantrum. Hi, sister, you're going home. You're excluded from the graduation now.
Literally. Bye-bye. I don't want you there.
Very, very bad parenting there. He then tried to avoid actually going through with it until my stepmother told him off about his disregard for me, even on my special occasions. When we finally did go, she blew up and screamed about how there was nothing she liked and stormed out. Then why did you go, stupid? If you don't like sushi, don't go to the sushi restaurant.
Yeah, if someone's like, hey, we're going to sushi night, you'll be like, actually, we're not going to sushi. I don't like it.
Or just order gyoza. So the whole restaurant stared at us for the rest of the meal, and I was humiliated. I really don't want something like that to happen at Buffy's wedding, so would I be the a-hole for warning my sister's friends to hire security for the wedding to keep her out? Sorry this ended up being so long. I just wanted to give as much info as I could so you could make an informed decision, and we have an update, but hit me with it, Sophia. Where are we at?
I don't think you would be the a-hole. You're not hiring the security behind their back. You're not saying you have to hire a security. You're just advising them. I think it's fine to offer advice in this situation.
Yeah, I think you've been maybe conditioned to think that your thoughts and opinions shouldn't be voiced. And that's why it's like, I don't know, would I be crossing a line? It's like, your sister's already basically been like, I want nothing to do with these people who were already not. It's like, they would probably understand. If anything, they'd be like, oh my God, thank you for letting us know that this is how she is. We have not been tapped into that aspect of her personality, clearly, as we are kind of shocked at how she's been behaving recently. So if you really think that we're going to need a bouncer to keep her from ruining the wedding, thank you. Update. First, I want to thank everyone who commented and encouraged me to speak up. I struggle with self-confidence and often worry it will be taken the worst possible way. Thank you for that trauma. But you guys helped me push to do the right thing despite my fears. Thank you so much, and here's the update. After I mustered up the courage, I reached out to Buffy, laying out things Susan had done in the past, that I was not reaching out of spite, and I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I didn't warn her, and somehow Susan ruined her day. I recommended they get security and maybe ask some friends to keep an eye out just in case. She responded that she already had it covered. She figured that Susan might try something, and she already has it set up so anyone who is not on the guest list cannot come into the building. Susan was her maid of honor, but she has since been completely removed from the wedding, and Buffy has gone full-on no contact with her because I don't have time for that high school drama BS.
Good. Stand your ground. Don't let Susan boss her way.
As adults, there's no time to have people like this in your life.
No, my goal this New Year is just to be more straightforward. I don't have time for all the like, no. I have an army to lead.
She was thankful that I reached out, though, and she had set up passwords for the vendors. She made it clear she had even cut off childhood friends for being like this, and she had no problem doing it for anybody who tried to bring unnecessary drama into her life. I also found out exactly what broke the camel's back, and it's so stupid and petty I can't even. The utter audacity of this bee. Since it's getting closer to the wedding, Buffy wanted a more solid head count. She asked Susan if she could reach out to our parents, like literally our mom and dad, to see if they were still going to come to the wedding. They hadn't gotten official invitations because Susan was supposed to be the maid of honor, and they had talked about a lot during the planning for Susan's wedding. They all had been working with each other to try and make sure it was perfect, so it didn't seem like it needed an official invitation. Susan, this delusional bee, Susan told Buffy it wasn't her effing job to ask them, and as the bride, she should effing do it herself. Buffy told her that she was pretty sure as the maid of honor, it was her job to be helping get the final touches done. Susan blew up, and it led to a huge argument, but basically, Susan pulling the "I'm so overwhelmed, why is no one helping me?" throwing it in her face. "I've bought so much for you." Again, she wasn't asked to buy those things. "I'm not letting you use the leftover decorations from my wedding anymore." Just spewing utter BS. Buffy said she was cutting her off because she's too old for this foolishness and high school BS. Buffy hasn't spoken to her since. We did get the story. Thank you.
Yeah, because we deserve to know. Yeah, no, I think that was the right move. I mean, Buffy's a nightmare. I mean, not Buffy, sorry. Susan's a nightmare. Buffy seems cool. Buffy's a vampire slayer. And she slayed that vampire, Susan. She's a freaking energy vampire.
I apologized to her again, and she said I wasn't the one who needed to apologize. We chatted a bit more about things, and we will be keeping in touch from here on out. I told her if there was anything I could help with, I would. And if she needed someone to talk to, I was here for her. She said she really appreciated it and went to bed. So Buffy was already anticipating Susan's possible attempts and had taken measures already. It was a huge relief. As for Susan's dog, I ended up reaching out to my dad. Oh my God, yeah, the dog being neglected. Save the dog. I ended up reaching out to my dad, explaining the situation to him and asking if he could check on her since she seemed to be struggling with her husband being gone. I made it very clear this wasn't me trying to be vindictive, cruel, or mean. I was genuinely concerned that the dog was not getting the proper care and treatment it deserved. It sounded like her living condition wasn't any better than being stuck in a shelter. And by the way, I want you stuck listening to full episodes with stories like this. I want you being stuck in a podcast loop. And you can get stuck in it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you will have the limitless, the archives, the complete archives. So we do have a little bit more story, but like, where we at here? Where we at? What we feeling?
I think this is all going as planned, as need to be.
You're not doing anything wrong in Susan's. Honestly, that's where we're at. Please let the dad take the dog. Please don't get a dog if you can't take care of it.
At the end of the day, if you cannot take care of the pet, you should not have a pet.
Yeah, buy a pet that's really easy to take care of, like a fish. I haven't heard back at all, but I'm hoping he will at least check on her. I decided not to call animal control because it would also impact her husband. He's a good man and was taking the dog for several mile runs every morning, working on her training, and just generally took good care of her. I would hate for him to never be able to adopt a dog again for something happening when he's not there.
Well, then you call him up and you say, hey, your dog is being mistreated. You need to, I don't know, do something about that.
I hope this update finds you all well, and thank you all once again for giving me the courage to do what needed to be done. I was honestly really scared that I would end up in Susan's crosshairs or that I might not be believed at all. Well, thank goodness that's not what happened. That's the end of that story.
My sister went hostile at her own wedding because I revealed I'm already married.
I don't understand. I need more information.
Now, I am a 27-year-old woman who is married to another man who was 28 at the time I'm writing this. Our family is relatively accepting of us, even though it can be awkward depending on the person. And the two of us have been married for 4 months. By the way, this comes from Warm Document 79 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So my older sister, who I will be calling Amy for the sake of mine and my family's privacy, has always been very accepting of my relationship and has very openly supported me for years and was the one to help me come out to the rest of the family. Called it.
Cool.
About a year ago, my sister got engaged to a man I will be referring to as Mark. He is also a very nice man, has never treated me or my husband rudely at any point in the 6 years we've known each other prior to their engagement. My sister, however, slowly began treating me differently after she started planning the wedding. For example, she wants me to take off my wedding ring when I walk her down the aisle to hand her off to the groom. Our father passed away 3 years ago, which is why I'm doing this part. And she wants her husband to remove my husband from his list of groomsmen because it would simply be too distracting, whatever that means.
I hate that because she says that she's an ally, but she doesn't want anyone else to know.
I told her no. I will not be taking off my wedding ring to walk her down the aisle, but I will be willing to compromise and wear gloves while I hand her off and during the ceremony, and take them off for the reception. Safe to say, she freaked out. She told me word for word that if I wore my wedding ring and saw a matching one on my husband's finger, then people would ask about it and take the spotlight away from her. I reiterated my point. I won't take it off, but I will cover it with gloves, silk ones that people will wear with tuxedos sometimes, not medical ones in case. My husband was willing to as well, and if it bothered her that much, then we'll cover it up during the reception too. For about 3 months, she left it at that, and she agreed even though that she was all huffy about it. Now forward to about a week before the wedding. I had been helping her plan multiple aspects of her wedding alongside her bridesmaid and maid of honor, such as helping her decide on what cake design, what flavor she liked best, or what color scheme would look nice for her beach wedding, and so on. She hasn't let me see the dress, which would be fine if it wasn't for the snide comment she made about me possibly stealing the dress for myself. I was confused and asked why on earth I'd do that, considering the fact I'm happily married. I crap you not, she told me, word for word,
well, since you're, one of them, I thought it might be some weird cross-dressing fetish or something.
She's so... Oh my God. This is the least supportive person.
I didn't even know what to say, so I just walked out of there. Aw, dang, that's so tough. On the day of the wedding, everything goes smoothly. I walk her down the aisle and take my seat, and the ceremony went smoothly. During the reception, me and my husband were by the food area. I don't know the exact name of it in English, bear with me. And the mother of the groom, who neither me or my husband knew very well at all, approached us and began talking to us, before promptly and rather abruptly asking if my husband and I were married. I promptly said yes, and quickly redirected the conversation to something else. I'm not ashamed of my same-sex marriage in any way, shape, or form, but I'd rather not discuss the details of it with someone who might as well be a stranger and certainly not someone else's wedding. My sister hears this and quite literally storms over and screams at me for making her wedding about me.
Thus creating a
Because
bigger
this is
scene.
my wedding. This is all about me. Don't you dare talk about yourself.
Ah, this is crazy.
Why is she so jealous? 1, 2, she knows her marriage is about to fail and doesn't want someone who is happily married to be talking.
Because she's and she's like, wow, OP and his husband are having the best time. They're having a great life. And she's like, if anyone knows that, then they'll think that his marriage is better than mine.
Let me cook here. Sam dropped this crazy quote on me and said, the same amount of happiness you are on a plane to your destination is what you will have on the destination. So like if you're like moderately happy on the plane, you're going to be moderately happy at the place you're going.
What if there's like a baby crying?
I still think that should show what kind of person you are. Even if there is something mildly annoying, that should then reflect how you would feel in those high moments. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that I think the sister may have put a lot of emphasis on this day and not the reason.
She's saying, oh, this day is about me.
About me and all the things I think is why her marriage won't last. Because she's not like, oh, this is the reason I'm getting married.
The day is about you as a couple, and it's not about you putting down other people, which you are.
She tells me how it was ridiculous of me to have tried to make it all about me and that this is what she was afraid of. Me asking this about myself and my marriage and saying that she never truly loved me and that I was a insert slur and so was my husband and she was just trying to be nice to me, that I was her baby brother.
I think she's a terrible person and I hate her. And she does not deserve UOP.
In front of all of your family.
That's ridiculous. I would never cut her off.
After a lot of yelling and quite a few hurtful words, if I may say so, she literally drags me and my husband out of her reception and storms off. My husband and I, both quite hurt, leaving without saying a word. As of now, my entire family is mad at me for not being very thoughtful at my sister's wedding and blocked me, and I am unable to explain myself to anyone. If there are any further changes, I will be updating this post. We got an update.
I'm so sorry. That's really hard.
Like I said, whoever hears the news first, they believe.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Update. All right, guys, I have some updates. I don't think this whole situation is over with, but I certainly have more to add. Okay, so about 3 days ago, my brother-in-law texted me. He's been one of the only ones not to block me, but he didn't text me either. And he apologized to me, and he told me to apologize to my sister because I had hurt her and betrayed her, which I just didn't get at all. He's probably hearing her itch about it all the time, and he's like, please make it stop, just apologize.
But
My marriage is sad, I'm in a horrible marriage. She is the one who called me slurs and tried to make me hide my marriage, which, by the same, she made no one else do because a few people were asking, and she is the one who feels hurt. I, frankly, just didn't want anything to do with her or her BS at the moment and told him that I'd think about it. I wasn't apologizing, but that was just to get him off my back.
Don't
apologize. Turned my phone off immediately after. A few hours later, my sister unblocks and texts me, and this is how the conversation goes. Just note that the name is fake and a lot of Google translated because it's not originally in English. I will be substituting my name for Mark for privacy reasons. There is also a bit of heavy language in this. Amy, hey Mark, me. Amy, what do you want? Amy, I just wanted to say that you told my husband you apologized to me, but you still haven't. Me, obviously I didn't do anything wrong. Why would I apologize? Amy, you did though. You made my wedding day about yourself like a wiener. What the F is wrong with you, a-hole? Me, I'm the a-hole here? You called me a slur for no reason. You overreacted, Amy. I didn't do anything wrong.
I hate her.
Amy, it's true that you are an insert slur. And insert another derogatory homo slur.
And a wiener, too, I might add. No straight man should have done what you did at my wedding.
Well, too bad they slay.
What? Your sister is the worst person ever. Black hole.
She is bad.
It's
This
up
is
there.
like abandoning your brother and throwing them under the bus and just keep throwing them under a bus. A new bus with full of kids that are heavy. Not the cheerleader bus, the football kid bus. No, a straight man might have done what I did at your wedding. You just wouldn't have cared about it if it didn't happen because I believe you only pretended to care about me.
Wow, how righteous of you to make my feelings about you once more. You royally effed up and made my day horrible.
Girl, you made your day horrible. If
Me.
you have hate in your heart, it's going to be bad.
Me, what the F is wrong with you? I didn't do anything wrong. I just answered a question. I didn't get really wasted, strip, and proclaim my marital status to everyone in the reception, did I? Tell me the truth. You are being an itch about this because you are actually upset by me answering the question, and you are being a bully because I admitted to being gay? Amy,
Wow. You call yourself a feminist while actively dismissing my feelings?
I'm sorry, she's claiming to be a feminist?
You're just being a wiener right now.
me. What does me being a feminist have anything to do with this? You honestly are being a wiener in this situation. Amy,
Stop just using being a ussy and apologize. It's not going to emasculate you just to say you're sorry for once in your effing life.
me. What? I don't feel embarrassed to apologize. I apologize when I'm wrong. You know this. I'm not in the wrong, and I won't apologize to just make you stop throwing a tantrum like a 5-year-old who got told no for the first time in their life.
Amy, can you just calm down? You are completely losing it.
She's making me insane.
I am calm.
Amy, ugh, just F off. You made me so upset.
I canceled my beach honeymoon, and now we have to figure something out.
Go play dress up with your husband.
I hate her. This
But-
woman is driving me insane.
And we could drive you insane with more stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen on. Come check us out. Search OK Storytime on those podcast platforms. And we got a little bit more here right now.
I don't even want to hear it.
Sophia's done.
I hate this woman so much.
I want to know what she was using him for, because you played
Yeah.
pretend this whole time.
I know. It's like, why?
What did he pay for the wedding? Because the dad wasn't around. He definitely helped out. That's what I want to know.
She freaking sucks. You despicable human being.
And OP, being the amazing guy he is, probably didn't think of it. I just lost my sister. I also got used and was abandoned by my sister. Just abandon him. You don't got to call names.
OP, I'm so sorry.
After that, we stopped texting, mostly because I thought she was acting like a 5-year-old, and I truly didn't want to deal with it. Now, literally half an hour before I started writing this, I got a package at my door that was wrapped up in tacky Christmas wrapping paper, and it said it was from Amy, my sister. Confused, I opened it, and crap you not, there was a white bikini and lingerie set inside with a note from my sister saying,
Since I'm not going to the beach anymore, I thought I might give this to you, the only blah 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 I know. Enjoy dressing up for your husband, you freaks.
wow.
What a nightmare of a
That
person.
is crazy.
I can't believe she tricked everyone into thinking she was an ally.
Okay, and ending with an overly obvious XOXO your sister Amy. That's all I have for you. If more happens, I will update again. And that's all the updates we got right now. Holy crap.
I don't
what is wrong
understand
with
being
her?
this hateful of a person
Yeah. Your
and
own
thinking that you're
sibling?
still in the right. You're the worst. Black hole.
Black
Bye-bye. I won't miss you. I left my bully of a sister. It made her life crumble. Little bit of background. I'm the second youngest of 8, and my siblings are my half-siblings on my mother's side. I didn't grow up with them and my mother. In my adult years is when I started getting involved with them. That's when I realized how crappy they actually are.
Dude, 8 siblings.
That's a ton of siblings. By the way, this comes from Ginger Fox Girl, and if you want to submit your own story, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I dropped out of college and lived with my eldest sister for a few months before going back to my childhood home, which was being foreclosed on because my brother never paid the mortgage. My grandmother left in the house since she had moved. It was my dad's, but he passed. The house was supposed to go to me since I was his only child, but I was too young at the time, so it went to my grandmother. It was sad to see that I was going to be losing my childhood home because my brother stole money my other siblings had given him for the mortgage and ran off. I wish this was about him, but I never see him anymore. The story. Enter my eldest sister, who is an entitled parent of all things, and her crotch fruit was also an entitled spawn, who moved into the home to save money during the foreclosure. Since it would take a few years, we all decided to stay as long as we could. Now, my eldest sister, who grew up having to take care of her other siblings, not me because I lived with my dad and stepmom, is still stuck in the mindset that I am not a child and have to do whatever she says, especially because she helped me out. I had lived with her for a few months before I moved back home. She's the type to go, I helped you, so now you have to help me. And of course I did because I felt obligated. She had also helped me get a job at her job. I appreciated all of this, but things started to go downhill from here. We're all saving money. She told me I'd have to stay with her since I wouldn't be able to get one on my own. I believe this. I am a new adult and still stuck in little sister pushover mode, and my sister knows this. Anyways, I saved $100 or more from every paycheck because we were going to put down a down payment for a house in a while. The abuse she gave me started getting bad. My sister's really trashy, and whenever I did something outside of my race, she'll claim, "Why are you acting like another race?" What? I'm pro-choice, so she would make fun of me being pro-choice. She hated the fact that I love my dog more than her kids. She had another baby. Lord knows she couldn't afford another one, and she used to talk crap about my dog. She would take my phone and read through my messages. I'd have naughty messages to my boyfriend, and she'd try to spicy shame
fantasies.
me. She'd make fun of my depression and life attempt and make me feel like I was nothing without her, even though she'd constantly ask me for money out of my personal savings and made me believe it was for baby food, but it was actually for marriage. She actually went into my room and stole $80 from me for this. She eventually paid it back, but still. I'd ask her not to smoke in my room because I have asthma, but she'd still come in with a cig or a joint. If I spent money on myself, she'd be like, "You know we need to save money." Girl, you're spending $80 like, I don't know, probably weekly. But yet she spent $400 on Christmas gifts her spawn would never use.
John, we're going to get back to the story, but you're old.
You're as old as me now, pal.
I might be as old as you, but I feel like you have oodles more wisdom.
I've got some wisdom in this old noggin.
You got a piece of wisdom for me right now?
Always respect you.
And I think the other piece of wisdom that I've learned from John is join OK Storytime memberships.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Get it now while I'm still alive.
Now back to the story.
When we worked together, she got pissed off and jealous when my coworkers praised me and used to try to talk crap about me to them behind my back. What? Who is this lady? She was my ride, and we were always late for work because her excuse was, "I have kids. I need to get them ready for school and daycare." I was happy to see that my bosses never really wrote me up because of her wrongdoings. My manager and supervisor even told me that she was only still hired because I worked there. That made me feel good about myself because I feel worthless a lot of the time. The abuse got so much worse, and one incident happened that I don't want to talk about right now made me think, wait a minute, I'm an adult. I'm not a child anymore. She needs to realize that. There we go.
Okay,
there
finally
we
standing
go.
up for
It's like
herself.
realizing, wait a minute, she can't talk to me that way.
It's a self.
Wait a minute.
I feel
I
like
don't have to put up with that.
I feel like OP just had self-realization as like when you were a kid. You're like, oh,
You like come into consciousness.
literally, like you're like 3 years old, you're like or 4 years old. You go, oh,
Yeah.
I have control.
Oh,
These are my limbs.
I can move them.
I hid my money, started being more strict with her entitled child, and whenever she tried to dish me some abuse, I'd dish it back.
Oh.
I took the rest of my money and put down a down payment for a car. Of course, her reaction was irate. "You know we need to move. Yeah, away from you, girl."
Yeah, honestly.
I didn't care. I had already planned on moving cities. Yeah, you need to move countries. 2 days later, her car breaks down and wasn't able to be repaired. If it wasn't for me getting a car, she wouldn't have been able to get to work. During this whole thing, I was still in a bit of a pushover mode and decided to let her use my car for things. No, especially since I wasn't driving as much. I had nowhere to go and was a new driver. Of course, she would bring the car back low on gas and demand I help her pay for gas, though she was the one using the car. She let her spawns make a mess out of my car and never cleaned it out. The kid broke the back of the seat off. What?
Because it kept.
They're
Because it
demons.
kept punting it.
They're demons.
She even brought roaches into the car.
How?
The last straw was when she started talking crap about me while in my car. How dare you?
Out there.
How
Anywhere
dare
but
you.
the car.
She was supposed to be helping me learn how to drive in exchange for me letting her use my dang car all the time. Wait, girl, you don't know how to drive and you bought a car? She was on the phone with her friend and I was listening to music. I was switching through songs and heard her talking. "Sister, yeah, she wants me to help her learn how to drive, but I've got stuff to live for. I've got kids. She has her dog. She thinks that's something to live for." Me, "Well, I can drive home alone and you can get a ride from baby daddy's name." This pisses her off and I proceed to put on my music, but I can still hear her talking crap. "'Cause you're in the same car." Enough is enough. We finally get the eviction notice, and my sister got upset when I told her I'm moving to another city and not with them.
Thank God.
I was not going to help her rent a house when she has a baby daddy to help her. She's getting angry and annoyed, but I do not care. Don't care. She is downing me and saying I wouldn't make it. I put in my 2 weeks. My manager and supervisor say they'll give me a great recommendation for my other jobs.
Oh, yes.
And I moved to another city.
There
Thank
we go.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Of course, my manager and supervisor was right. She was fired shortly after I left because she had a crappy attitude and I was gone. She had no ride anymore besides using her baby daddy's van that drinks up gas easily. She won't be getting any good reference because she couldn't learn how to be a kind person. I proved her wrong, got an apartment a month after moving to my new city. And by the way, you can prove us wrong by always joining and listening to more episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Story Time. Prove us wrong. I don't feel bad at all and feel like I gave her back so much more than I should have. My revenge is knowing that she needed me, but I left her alone with no help. I guess this isn't pro-revenge. Again, this is my first post, and if this isn't the wrong topic, then please let me know and I'll move it. And edit, before I left, my sister did try to guilt trip me. She'd talk about how she had no transportation or how I'd missed my 2 nieces' birthday. I didn't care. Opie hates these kids. Opie freaking hates these kids.
Yeah, dude.
Like, that is not the best. If you're trying to get OP to stay, don't use your kids because she freaking hates them.
She's not going to stay for your kids, who
Your
she
crotch
refers
spawn.
to as spawns.
Yeah. She said she didn't want to lose the only good sister she had left.
What? That's how you, if you don't want to lose the only good sister you have left, that's how
Whoa,
you're treating her?
This is a big turnaround. No problems with police or substances in me. Too bad she didn't really realize that she was pushing me away. And comment 1 says, sometimes the best revenge is just letting an awful person's world fall apart. All because you just decided to not be there anymore. Happy you got out of a crappy situation. And another comment says, so do you know anything about her now? And OP says, she still messages me to ask for money. Of course she does, because she's freaking broke. Which I tell her I don't have, or to tell me what else happens with my toxic family. She was on welfare for about 4 months and now has a crappy job that she hates. And that is the end of the story.
I don't want my sister to be my maid of honor, even though I was hers. What? Okay, so there is a lot of history between me, 28 female, and my sister, 34 female, and we have never had the best relationship. Without publishing a novel, I'll try to give some important background information. My sister, Samantha, and I are just shy of 6 years apart, with our late deceased brother in the middle of us. He was my age when he passed a few years ago. By the way, this comes from user CS0607, and if you want to submit your stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, for context, my brother struggled for nearly 12 years with a substance abuse problem, which ultimately took him from us. I only mention my brother because Samantha and I have always differed when it came to him. I always visited him regardless of living 450 miles away, and she only did maybe once around the holidays. He was in rehabs for years, and all he had was family to try to support him. I even wrote my college admission essay on him and will forever look up to and admire him. While there are stereotypes, he was truly the greatest person anyone could know. I love my parents. They are divorced and remarried, but I basically raised myself and coined a nickname due to it. Can't post it as it will be very revealing of my identity.
What is the nickname?
My parents both apologized to me during my brother's funeral for how absent they were in my childhood. I really didn't mind or know any different. Back to Samantha. She never thought of me as a good sister, as I was independent and kept to myself most of my childhood. When we got older, she would compare me to other people with little sisters and basically say she wished I was more like them. My family and I weren't the scripted family she wanted, and she only comes around when it benefits her. I have my master's in applied psychology, and while you shouldn't label family with diagnoses, she most definitely has tendencies, to say the least. I never had enough drama or gossip for her, as I felt my life had enough, so I never really wanted any part of that with my friends. Apparently, that makes me weird and a bad sister to Samantha, but I digress. When she got engaged, she called me and spoke to me for the first time in nearly a year after telling me how she was ashamed, embarrassed, and hated who I was for publishing an anonymous article with changed names about the impact addiction has on family members. I was proud of that article, and all I wanted was to help just one person going through something similar. On this call, she told me, didn't ask, but told me I was her maid of honor. I asked if she was sure because at this point I lived 400 miles away from her in another state, was working full-time as a bar manager, and was in graduate school full-time. I was 22, maybe 23, and I had never even really been to a lot of weddings as an adult, maybe one. I asked her what she expected from me, and she said, just sister things and just be there at my wedding next to me. Okay, I thought. Right. And as we all know, that's the only thing a maid of honor is supposed to do, right?
Just
no
be
other
there.
responsibilities, no planning,
Just
no
show
nothing.
up. I don't know.
I'm sure OP's sister's not going to turn this around on her.
What is just
in
sister
any way.
things, by the way? Like
Just
just
sister
sister
things.
things.
Yeah. Just sister
Yeah,
things.
what do you mean? It's
like
just sister things.
Planning all the elements of my wedding that you don't know about.
You were supposed to get the venue.
Yeah.
It's just it falls under
The
just
cake,
sister things.
The flowers, also like
Find me a
the
groom.
invites, maybe, I don't know. Can you do the officiating as well? That'd be nice.
It's not that hard. It's just sister things. Okay?
Just sister things. Look it up on Pinterest. I thought. I was nervous though, since my finances were not strong and I was busy literally all the time. Being up for 3 days at a time to pull all-nighters and still get to work was normal for me. Exhausting, but normal. Her married mean girlfriend was to be called her matron of honor. So basically, I was her maid of honor out of obligation. Truly, I didn't need to be in the wedding party at all. It would have saved me money and stress. So during this almost 3-year engagement, a lot happened, and I will summarize it. After a year, she got mad because I never sent her a congratulation card for her engagement. I have never received a single card from her in my life, nor does she open the dozens of cards my grandma sends her. So to be honest, it never crossed my mind. I should have though, and I made sure to get her one for her engagement party, which she was 2 hours late for. She was upstairs, but came outside 2 hours late. I'm backing out after that.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, so
Call it a
that
gap.
was a weird vibe. Go ahead and take me off of the
was
of
weird.
honor list.
I don't even want to be take the of off.
Maid honor.
Maid honor. Maid, honor.
She wanted to plan her bachelorette party, but also wanted the bridal party to plan it. However, she wouldn't tell us what she wanted or even what season she wanted it to be in. Okay, brain melter, but whatever, I guess we'll manage. She made me highlight my hair, which I had spent 2 years growing out to my natural color because I would look sickly otherwise with my skin tone. I didn't, but okay, I highlighted it.
Wait,
Boo.
girly, just say no.
Boo!
Just say no.
Boo,
Put your
be
foot
saying
down.
no.
Say no. I'm not doing that.
Boo!
No, I
Boo.
don't want to.
So, she had me order my $480 maid of honor dress 2 sizes too big because she didn't believe me when I told her my dress size. Since
What?
she hadn't seen me in a while. I had lost over 40 pounds and was now underweight and a size 0. I spent $300 to have it altered since it was 2 sizes too big.
Girl, you say, hey, you ordered the wrong size and I told you what size to get, so you have to send this back. Why are you taking all of this?
Yeah, stop.
Like, drop out or like stand up for yourself, girly.
Do not do this. Stop it.
Don't let them walk all over you.
Yeah, anyone out there who feels like this is similar to a dynamic I have with anybody, stop it. Stop
it.
letting this person
Say
walk all over you.
Every moment, another maid of honor is bullied. Say no to bullying.
She got mad at everyone for not planning her bachelorette party, but didn't want it in the summer because, ew, OP, why would I want to sweat? Samantha planned the bachelorette party in the summer, 6 hours from me. Okay, no problem. 2 wedding planners had to quit because of how abusive and rude she was. My brother knew there would be old friends, family, and people he hadn't seen in a really long time. He had social anxiety and felt like everyone would talk down to him due to his disease or judge him. He was really stressed about the wedding, getting there, and being around all those people. My sister made it even worse. I don't even want to explain further. He passed about a week before her planned wedding. The wedding was moved a few months later, and she got married. On her wedding day, she was horrid. She had everyone in tears, shaking, drinking heavily to cope, and threatened myself, my mother, and anyone else who dared to enter her room with scissors. At one point, she took the scissors to her wedding dress, a $10,000 wedding dress my mother, who she wouldn't even let see her, paid for. I tried knocking to tell her the photographers needed to talk to her, and she threw something at me, cursed me out, and said I was a pathetic little girl with a pathetic, scared voice. Yeah, you're crazy. I'm traumatized. Since she wouldn't let anyone help her put on her dress or try to maneuver the layer, she decided to cut out an entire layer of the dress since it wasn't laying right. Well, she cut out the supportive layer. Now she had no support for her chest. Pathetic little sister to the rescue. I remembered that when I valeted my car, they used medical tape to secure the ticket, so I ran in my maid of honor dress, slippers, and my hair half done down there to get some on the other side of the resort. It was cold and snowing. And remember, I lived far away from my family, so on my way to get the tape, I was passing a bunch of people who wanted to say hello. Samantha told me to ignore anyone I saw, rude, and get back in 5 minutes. Is this not just a bad dream someone had?
It's gotta be.
This
gotta be.
sounds
It's gotta
so
be.
bad.
It's gotta be. It's just terrible, and it keeps getting worse. And no one's saying anything.
Yeah, just
No one's sticking up.
I think if the bride has locked herself away in the room and is cutting her dress up, I think it's time to maybe push the wedding back a little bit. So I got back and was instantly yelled at to get out, which is when I would throw the tape at her as hard as I could and go, I'm done with you for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And you walk out.
My mom got yelled at for tearing up. She is her daughter, her first child getting married, but apparently she couldn't have emotions since Samantha thought my mom was trying to take the attention away. From who? You're in your room. My mom just walked out. I caught my sister talking crap about me to her mean girlfriend, the only person who was allowed to be with her, and it hurt my feelings, but it was her wedding, so okay. After this horrible, horrible morning, I realized I had a speech to give. I was an English major, so I wrote a beautiful speech. Not a truthful one, but it did the job. My sister was already cheating on her husband. Can you come close to me, please?
Me or the camera?
Can you come close to... When you know people are getting cheated on, you tell them. You tell them before the wedding. Which, to be fair, I haven't read far enough to know if we knew about this before the wedding or after, but regardless, my message remains the same.
What loyalty do you owe your sister? None. She sucks.
My sister was already cheating on her husband prior to the wedding and divorced him only a few months later since she found greener grass. And this guy is a lawyer, so here comes the money. I wonder if he was a divorce lawyer. Maybe that's how they met. I lost 2 brothers in a matter of months, but according to Samantha, it's not about me. Now, my sister has mentioned how she expects to be my maid of honor since I was hers. I now live about 800 miles away from her and only text her on holidays and her birthday. I never hear from her. My family doesn't hear from her, and frankly, I like it that way. She was always a bully and told me about 10 years ago, you think I'd give a flying little F about you? That's funny, because I've never given an F about you. She's hit on my partner several times. She's always seeking attention at the cost of others, and I just don't want drama anywhere near my wedding. And by the way, we want you very near. We want you all over. We want them right in your little ear holes. The full episodes with stories like this one that are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search OK Storytime and then listen to 47 consecutive days worth of podcast content.
Every day, a full episode of OK Storytime is released in your neighborhood.
Is this the joke of the day?
Yes. Go watch it now.
In the
Only
arms of Sophia.
Only you have the power to give it a home in your ears.
With great power comes great responsibility to watch OK Storytime.
So, I'm letting my aunt and mom plan the wedding because I truly don't care about anything about my wedding. Just want to celebrate my and my partner's marriage and have our families come together. Okay, I was about to say, there's one thing at least that you should care about at your wedding, and it should be the person that you're getting married to, probably, maybe. Just a thought. I don't know.
Just a thought.
Seems like you do, though. It seems like you do. The color of the silverware, that couldn't matter less to me. And that was the whole thing with Samantha. If my mom wants to plan a wedding, I'll give a budget and she can have it. So am I the a-hole for not wanting my sister as my maid of honor and merely sending an invitation in the mail, knowing she probably won't open it as she doesn't open cards? If you read this far, thanks, and I'm sorry for the long-winded post. It's my first Reddit post. Samantha hasn't spoken to my mom in over 2 years and is equally cruel to her. Samantha doesn't speak to my ailing grandmother, never visited my sick grandfather, and made a scene at his funeral. And that is the end of that story.
My sister made a false CPS claim on us. We went no contact.
That's a big claim, man.
That is a big claim. My sister and I have always been close. Every year she spends Christmas Eve sleeping over with her fiance, male 31, and helps us build and set up toys from Santa for Christmas morning. We call ourselves Santa's helpers and have a lot of fun with it. That's so cute. I want to do that. By the way, this comes from Random Redhead 10, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, this year, she spent the night and saw my husband and father disciplining our son, male 13. Our son is now a teenager and likes to ignore us when we ask him to do something, pretend he doesn't know how to do something incredibly simple, slam doors, general teenage sassy behavior. His teachers at school notice it as well, so it's something we're working on at home. Our discipline style is somewhere between tough love and talk it out. Every time a conflict at home arises, my son does the argue, flip out, then run upstairs and slam the door thing. My husband will wait 10 minutes and go upstairs and have a heartfelt, meaningful dialogue with him. That's good. This happened on Christmas Eve. He told his 3-year-old sister Santa wasn't real, and we both immediately told him that wasn't okay, and he started arguing with us.
Oh, man.
It led to the same typical back and forth. The difference was my sister and her fiance were present. Neither of them said anything and went about our usual Christmas Eve routine. Everything seemed fine. Our son apologized and went to bed. What did they do? Did they just tell the 3-year-old? They're like, no, that was fake. He's real. Upon his return to school after break, a CPS worker showed up and pulled him out of class to interview him about how his parents treat him. Whoa! He told him he loved his parents and that things at home were fine. He expressed that when we discipline him, we sometimes ground him and we take away his electronics for a week, and sometimes he'll argue with us, but he knows that when we discipline, that we do it because we love him and we want him to grow and learn. I have a seizure disorder. I have not had a seizure in 10 years, but in December, out of nowhere, I had 3 back to back. I was sitting in my neurologist's office preparing for an EEG sleep study when I got a call that went to voicemail. It was from the same CPS worker saying she would be coming to our house the next day to interview us and our 3-year-old. I immediately shared the number and voicemail with my husband and told him to call her back because I couldn't. The very next day, after an exhausting round of seizure tests, she came over. When she arrived, we got a clear picture of the accusations made against us. 1, she claimed my husband was a heavy drinker with anger issues. 2, she claimed we were starving our 3 children and had no food in the house. To answer the first accusation, it was Christmas Eve. All of our family was there, drinking eggnog or wine. No one in the house got sloshed except my sister, who drank an entire 18-pack of brewskis by herself that night. We do not have a drinking problem. It was a holiday with family and a delicious meal I had spent all day preparing. My husband does not have anger problems whatsoever. We were upset at what our son said to his sister, but not in any way that would justify claiming anyone in this house had anger issues. My dad and my husband pulled our son aside to talk to him about it. I really don't understand this one. To answer the second accusation, when the CPS worker toured our house, we showed her our pantry, fridge, and freezer. She literally laughed out loud and said, "There's enough food here to feed everyone in the house for 3 months. We are absolutely not starving our kids," and that was obvious right away. I wonder if they're kind of like more ingredient household, because that's how my household was, and all of my friends would come over and I would say this too, and they're like, "You don't have any food." I'm like, I know,
and then my mom is like,
"Look at the ingredients, you can make something." And I'm like, well, that's not the point, Mom. I wanted some chips. Or you have like a cup of chocolate chips for dessert.
yes, we still do that. It's good.
It's a go-to. Really quick, I also do frozen peas and corn.
For snacks?
Not a lot of people do that one, but my friend taught me that one. When the CPS worker was packing up to leave, she stated, "I'm grateful to be handling a case in a functional home with happy, healthy kids. Usually it's quite the opposite." Today, she called us back and is closing the case by the end of the day. She does not believe any further action is needed, and our risk score is low. Upon talking to my parents and brother, all agree this was for sure my sister based on their conversations with her. though she has not outright admitted it. All agree this was the last thing our family needed while dealing with my health issues and restructuring our lives and schedules around the reality that I can't drive for 6 months, meaning I can't work. My husband and I see this as a major betrayal. Absolutely, that is a serious, serious accusation. I'm still reeling from the reality that a family member I've always been so close with and trusted would make such an impulsive, dishonest, and quite frankly, cruel decision like this. I have spent weeks trying to figure out how to confront her, as she has not fully admitted to doing this, but has heavily implied it to everyone who's spoken to her. She went from being overly communicative the day of the interview, demanding I call her and tell her how it went, and in general blowing up my phone, to being silent and not speaking to me for weeks after I told her it went fine. I believe she knows I assume she did this. I want to have a conversation with her, but I do not know how to do it. I feel betrayed by my sister and incredibly hurt. I do not want to react emotionally, but I do want her to know this was wrong. Quick, small update. My brother wants to coordinate lunch where we sit down with her to discuss this. He doesn't think me texting her is a good idea. So that may happen, but I don't even know if I can look her in the eye right now. I intend to bring up the drinking issues and concerns for her mental health during this conversation, but also try to get to the truth. We'll have one final update after this. And there is another update. But do you have any thoughts before we jump into it?
I'd say let's just jump right in.
Just jump right in. Roll right in. She ended up reaching out to me and telling me how much she loved me. I responded saying that I had a question to ask and I needed her to be honest with me. She called me immediately. She opened with saying, I think you already know the answer if you're asking the question. So yes, it was me.
Whoa, a confession.
I followed up with, do you realize what could have happened to my kids, to me and my husband? Do you realize how bad the outcome of this could be? She began to rant and yell. She said, me and my husband don't deserve to be parents. That I obviously don't care about my kids because I haven't even brought them up. Which I literally opened with, do you realize what could have happened to my kids? Literally my first question. I think she was wasted again during this call. She just kept yelling and ranting and I couldn't get a word in. I kept asking if I could speak and she wouldn't stop going off. The only words out of my mouth she heard was, you realize we're going to be taking a very long break from you, right? And her response was, I'm sure you will, and I don't care. Then resumed her ranting. So I calmly told her if she was not going to let me speak, I was going to hang up. At this point, her ranting was incoherent. Something about how she cares more about my kids than anyone. Obviously not if you think about what you did was okay. And think that showing my kids you care about them means putting them at risk and ensuring that they are also losing a family member as a result of her actions, then sure, I guess that's caring. I once again calmly stated that I was going to hang up if she wouldn't let me speak. Unfortunately, that's where this phone call ended. I hung up and blocked her immediately and then called our father. I told him the way she was behaving on the phone sounded like she was incredibly unstable and either wasted, having a manic episode, or both, and that he should call her just to try and calm her down and get through to her. It sounds like he was going to immediately, though I don't know. I am devastated and still reeling from this, and I know it was her, but I really wanted the slim chance it wasn't to be true. Even if I knew it was possible that it wasn't. Hearing her say it sent chills down my spine. She said it so indignantly, like she was proud of her actions, and then devolved into unhinged ranting. Last night, I officially lost my sister. I will be going no contact from here on out, but my heart is broken. My dad clearly did not want to believe it was her either, because I heard his tone change instantly when I said she had admitted it. My dad sounded like he was on the verge of tears, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. She just caused a massive rift in our family. I don't even get to bring up the accusations. I really would have loved to ask her where the heck she came up with the idea that we're starving our kids and have no food in the house. She has never left our house hungry, and our kids have never gone hungry. I would have loved an answer to that, but never got a word in once she was going off. By the way, you can listen to our words if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app and search for Bookcase Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but do you have any final thoughts?
I really wonder, did it say if this sister has kids?
I don't think so.
Because I wonder, like, if that's the case, then I wonder if she's just, like, jealous, like, if she maybe couldn't have kids or something like that, and she's, like, upset about that and lashing out. That's the only thing I could think of.
It sounds a little bit like, oh, you guys don't deserve kids. I do. It seems like your sister is going through a pretty serious mental health crisis if she's gotten to this point. I mean, we know that she was drinking the night of Christmas Eve, so maybe she was conflating some of these issues.
That's also just a whole nother issue.
No, that's what I'm saying. It seems like that is like the main issue here, which has caused her to call CPS. So hopefully you're able to get her help. But again, your safety and your children's safety is priority. I also would have loved to ask her about the anger issues thing because it was clear and on display on the phone last night. She is the one wasted and angry, not my husband. Of course, I would have loved to make that keen observation, but again, I never got to speak when she was going. This is my final update. I have no idea how I feel today besides heartbroken and numb. I want to thank everyone who commented with words of support and advice. It meant a lot to me and really helped inform how I was going to handle this moving forward. I wish I had been wrong, but I wasn't. I'm worried because of her reaction on the phone last night. She might retaliate. I have no idea if she will. I hope speaking to my dad maybe helped. I'm a little on edge today and sad, but just hoping to move forward from this in peace. And that is the end of that story.
My boyfriend confessed he stole from me right before I was going back to school.
Stole your heart.
I don't think so. My 33 female boyfriend, 34 male, and I have been together for over 12 years now. I first met him in high school and we were friends for a few years. We lost touch after he graduated, but ended up reconnecting when I was in college. We've been together since. By the way, this comes from Objective Peak 83. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So about 7 years ago, we were at a crossroads. His friend had passed away suddenly in an accident, and he proceeded to spiral, and he started trying substances, staying out all night, engaging in a very reckless behavior, and it truly scared me. I tried everything to pull him out of it. It took a lot of work and me almost leaving him to start putting his life together. A little backstory, I work for my family's business. I have worked for the family business since I was 18 years old. And honestly, it would be great if I didn't have to work with the same people I see on the holidays. My family can be, in a word, toxic. There was a lot of infighting and drama. Working with them is similar to our personal lives, stressful and chaotic. When my grandmother passed away about 3 years ago, I was willed some liquid assets that had belonged to her and my grandfather. Gems, jewelry, precious metals, cash, etc. And their house they had since the 60s. And honestly, this was a blessing. With that inheritance, I finally felt like I could pull free from my family and get out of the family business and take time to go back to school and do something I was passionate about. However, I had no savings at the time and wanted to get a decent amount saved before I quit. At this time, an opportunity opened up at work. The pay was way higher, but required 4 to 7 months of travel time a year. I talked it over with my boyfriend, and we decided that we only needed 2 years to save up what we needed. I took the job and prepared to leave for 2 months for training at the main branch. Okay, it is a little scary, 4 to 7 months with your boyfriend having issues that he had.
Yeah, that is scary. But I mean, I'm wondering what his job is and if he can kind of travel with OP, you know?
Yeah, I don't. You'd have to be doing what we do to be able to travel remotely.
Well, I mean, he could have a remote job.
You could if you're a computer guy, but you got to be a computer person to have a remote job.
Yeah.
About a month into my training, my boyfriend suddenly quit his job with no explanation other than, I had to. I can't work there anymore. I was concerned about our financial goals because of this, but he swore up and down that he would get a new one shortly and that he wouldn't need any help with his personal bills. Well, a year after that went by, he had only taken up gig work and some temporary jobs. Ooh.
A year of that? When you're trying to do all that work to save up for a place and stuff?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't happy as I was having to travel all the time and was having to really be frugal in order to get our joint bills paid, while also putting money into savings. Oh no. He was managing to pay his own bills, so I let it slide since he tossed in what he could to the pile joint as well. Now I'm sitting here about to complete my 2 years, and my boyfriend has decided to come clean to me.
Okay, and so just to, again, OP had said that she was only going to work at this place for 2 years, and that would have given them enough, had he also been working, I'm sure, to start, like, to move in together and do all of that. And now I got an ICU. He's spent all his money or something, or he's cheating. Or both.
Or both. I was going to say you could both.
He sold the jewels.
What?
He stole the jewels and
no
liquid assets. He sold them all. I think that's how he was able to pay for everything. That's my thought. process. For the past 2 years, while I've been working at a job that has been soul-crushing and has had me away from home for weeks to months at a time, I've missed birthdays, weddings, friends, baby showers, etc. I've sacrificed the last 2 years of my life to make enough to be able to live my life the way I want to. And he tells me last week that he has been paying his personal bills by selling the things my grandparents had willed to me that I had left in a safe that was hidden in the house.
Despicable. Despicable. No. Leave.
It's been 7 years.
I think it's been 12 years.
It's 7 right now.
Oh,
They've been
they're
together
at
for 12.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, so
They're
they
at
keep
7 right
going
now.
until 12. I would have like made him give that money back, and then I would have been like,
Yeah, you
gotta
could.
go.
You. It's either you get the money back or you get everything you sold.
yeah, something like that.
A safe he had only had access to because the pew pew was in there, and I thought, he wouldn't do that to me. I'm honestly in shock. It was a substantial amount, and it makes me nauseous to even try to quantify it right now. How much do you think? At least 6 figures.
It's
At
yeah,
least.
gotta be. If it was a bunch of jewels and stuff, yeah.
Everyone's saying call the cops.
I mean, I think first, only because of the 7 years, I would be like, you need to give me that money now or get all my stuff back. And then if he was like, no, I'd be like, okay, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, I've already set in motion quitting my job and have given notice. And now I have so much less than I thought I did. He only told me because he had figured out a way to pay me back and had gotten a stable job and was planning on using most of his paycheck to give to me until I was made whole. But this just honestly disgusts me. I feel so violated. More than that, I wonder if this is his go-to pattern now. Life is stressful, a lot of change is happening, and he just self-destructs after what he put me through 7 years ago. I don't know if I can look past this. Yes, he came clean to me, but I just can't seem to get past this feeling. I look at him and just feel nothing right now. It's breaking my heart because I really care for him, and yet I just can't see anything changing. I feel so conflicted. We've been together for so long and even have all the same friends and share a life together. Will we be able to come back from this? Or is this what falling out of love feels like? And we got an update.
Don't go back to him. The only question here is cops or
Yeah, get your money back.
Yeah, get your money back first.
wanna
That's the only question. It's not like do I stay with him or do I break up? The answer is obviously break up.
Yeah, break up.
I was gonna say, how much of the money do you think that he stole or what have you? He used it for OP. Like, oh, I got her a fancy jewelry or fancy like clothes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this is my gift to you, but like in reality, it's like it's a gift
Ugh,
to you.
icky.
It's a gift to yourself.
I think she didn't say anything. She probably would have mentioned that. We might be getting that mentioned pretty soon.
Yeah,
But-
like what all of that money was spent on, because I think some of it was spent on the bills that they had.
Mainly bills and probably
Yeah.
him just getting by.
Yeah,
I don't think it was anything.
yeah,
for her.
you need to break
But
up
that
with him.
But that would have sucked though. Like, oh, this nice dress. I didn't know it cost my grandma's third precious jewel.
It's messed up, man.
Ah.
Messed up.
Update. In my life, I've learned that the best way to answer others' sincerity is by being sincere myself, so I'd like to try here. I have a very small circle of people. I would say the two most important people to me in the past 15 years have been my boyfriend and my little sister, the only two people I talk to nearly every day and do most of my everyday life with. A little over a year ago, I almost lost my little sister when she OD'd on prescription medicine and attempted to self-exit. I was the only one who found her after the fact and spent the next 3 weeks by her side in the ICU. The whole ordeal could be its own personal post, really. Now, the only person that had been my best friend for my whole life has me blocked in every aspect of her life for reasons I still do not know. And I still wonder if she blames me for leaving that night as much as I blame myself. In my grief, I lashed out at my toxic family for not listening to me when I said I was concerned about her, for not doing more, for not even being at the hospital when she needed them, for expecting me to be the only one to tend to her while she was in rehab. And because I lashed out at them, I was ostracized. The only time my family talks to me now is if it has to do with work. My birthday came and went along without a single one of them reaching out.
Oh, your family's your boyfriend.
It is why I was compelled to quit, as the silence and isolation was slowly driving me into a depression. During all of this, I have been clinging to my boyfriend. It would have been too difficult to go through without him, and I guess it is the main reason why I didn't immediately punt him out when he came clean to me. I have lost my best friend and any support from family. When I gave my notice, only one person asked me to reconsider. The rest said, good riddance. It's her family. And even if my family is toxic and awful to each other, it still hurts to be cast out so thoroughly. So when my boyfriend came clean to me, I just went numb. Oh.
Literally, like, everyone in her life has, like, betrayed her or just not been there for her.
Bro, move to Bali.
Yeah.
Just, like, get out of the country.
Start over.
Go find
just
yourself in a
start
booth.
over.
It works. I found myself.
It. Leave. You just said you finished the 2 years at that company. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, you got
Go somewhere else.
You got enough experience to probably get another solid job.
Yeah. Go to, like, I don't know. Go, like, live on a farm in Scotland.
I feel like I had lost what little fight I had left in me. It feels like the fabric of my life is coming unwoven and I'm falling apart. I'm still deeply mourning the loss of my sister in my life and grieving a family I have given up on. I have lost a lot in the past year, and this is just the last thing I thought I had to worry about. As many of you stated, it sounded like the substances. I didn't get him to divulge exactly what he was doing with the money, but I pieced it enough together. Regular users has once again taken him. My boyfriend is a sweet, dotting, and genuinely funny person, but 7 years ago, he also became someone I didn't know. His substance use was deep and unrelenting. It was a monumental uphill battle for him to get clean and stay sober, but I told him I would only stick it out with him once more, and if he ever started back down that road, I would leave. So I guess he got smart about hiding it. And me being the gone 6-ish months out of the year really helped him with that. I know some of you were very upset at me for losing sentimental items, but my grandma's jewelry is all there. Okay, he sold my grandpa's collection of, let's say, precious metals, as my grandpa was a child of depression and never had faith in banks. He stored most of his assets as such. Okay, so he probably had a ton of silver and gold.
Yeah. Still sucks though.
Yeah, my great grandpa gave me a ton of silver when I was little.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Dang.
Where is it?
Yeah, where'd you put it?
It's in a safe somewhere in North Carolina.
All right, chat. We know where to go.
It's in a safe somewhere in North Carolina. You're gonna receive a map in the mail, and we're gonna hunt it down.
All of his kids and grandkids were even given portions of that. They weren't sentimental as much as a safety net I had every intention on using if needed.
Okay, well, still obviously still sucks, but this is good news because it means,
Doesn't seem like she's tore up about it.
What?
Doesn't seem like she's super tore up about
But it's also, if it's just like, let's say it's silver or gold, then this is stuff that he can pay back. Like, she lost it, but it's not sentimental value stuff.
Give me it back in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There was a comment that was a few paragraphs that kind of left me shaken. My denial was pointed out, but also the fact that I had already knew what I needed to do. But I was looking for a way, any reason, any logic, something not to have to lose everything or anyone else right now. But I can't escape reality as much as I try. Some of you asked how I could even contemplate staying. The easy answer is I was/am still scared. Scared to face this world alone. Terrified, really. I have told him we have no more future together and we are working on how to best separate. It is amicable. I will not be reporting him or suing him. I've talked to his mom and dad about it. They told me that they would pay me back one way or another, and he has promised as much. I know a lot of you will be disappointed in that outcome, but I just have nothing left in me. I'm exhausted, and I don't even have the energy to get angry at anyone right now. Maybe once I have time to process everything, that might change, but right now, I need peace. For now, I can only focus on the present and try to take it one day at a time. I didn't ever think I would be this alone, and the pain of losing the people I love the most in this world is poignant heartache. I will be grappling with for a good time to come. Thank you, kind strangers, for letting me feel less alone in this. Thank you for your anger on my behalf. Thank you for taking time to read my post and give me validation to my heartbreak. And if you don't want to be heartbroken, you can go to your favorite podcast platform and join us there, reading stories just like this. Search up OK Storytime. and we will be there.
We'll be right there.
Wow, I have not read in a while. Sorry about that, guys. That
It's
was just
alright,
like,
we're getting back into it.
wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, I feel like what happened on that second update, he came clean, she processed it, found a plan, and is leaving him.
Yeah, I feel like that first one where she was like, I don't know if I should leave him, it was just kind of this shock. And again, she's been with him for like 12 years.
So at the 7-year mark, or 7 years ago, that's whenever he turned to the
yes. And then at
bottle.
the 12 year. Yeah, but they're at 12 years now, right?
They're at 12 years now.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought they were together for 7 years, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I finally found my sister after years apart, but she's not the person I remember.
Long lost sister?
Long lost sister? This is kind of ominous and spooky. My parents got divorced in August of 2014. It was a messy divorce, one of the worst I've ever known, and I know quite a few of my friends' parents. By the way, this comes from WQZU, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. My mother took half of my dad's savings, half of his pension. He had just retired after 11 years in the army, plus 25 years in the police force. She was cheating medical benefits during this time. Half of the house, the mortgage on which she never contributed to, and even tried to get half of the compensation my dad was awarded after being hit by a car. ICU, medically induced coma, plus in various hospitals and rehab centers from 2015 to 2016. Yes, the divorce took almost 2 years. Long story short, she bankrupted my dad. We were on the verge of homelessness for a while. He spiraled into depression, which subsequently put me into a depression. Things were effing bad for us. She also tried to use me and my sister as a weapon against him. She moved to Surrey, a place near London, 200 miles from where we were living at the time, to be with the man she was cheating on my dad with. My sister, 14 at the time, went with her. My mom tried to make me come too. I wasn't no contact at this point, but I had just started a software development apprenticeship at the time, so I stayed with my father. Things were okay. I even went down to Surrey to see them. It was when I was down there that I overheard my stepfather chatting crap about my dad, a man he had never met, calling him worthless, good for nothing, not a real man, was thrown in there a couple times. She was laughing along all the way. Obviously, I was upset. When I got back home, I texted her to let her know that I knew what he had been saying. This led to a barrage from her side and telling me never to talk or attempt to contact her, my stepfather, or, and this hurt the most, my sister. I happily obliged with the first two. I carried on talking to my sister through Facebook, saying things like, I will never not love you. You'll always be my sister. She said similar things back and said she missed me. I went to message her one day and she'd blocked me. I got a text from her saying that the way I spoke to my mom and stepfather was disgusting and that they have been nothing but amazing to me and her. Yeah, that's totally from OP's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that must be totally not from her mom trying to hack into OP's sister's account.
Yeah, that feels like such a big switch.
Yeah.
From what we've seen so far.
No way that's not OP's mom.
Yeah.
When I read it, I thought it was weird. When my dad got the exact same text, word for word, despite not saying anything to either of them, I knew it was my mother pretending to be my sister. I texted her back something along the lines of, your BS has always been easy to see through. I didn't get any message back. Now's not the time to go into it, but after a wasted conversation with my dad, I found out my mom was always emotionally abusive and a totally self-absorbed person. That tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, she stole all of his money and cheated on him.
Right.
When she found out I was having self-harming tendencies, she mentioned in a letter to another family member that I should have tried harder. I never want anything to do with her again. The issue at hand, as mentioned above, my father was bankrupted. He had no money left to fight for custody of my sister. I know he'd do anything to see her again. Going through courts is no longer an option. We don't know where they live. We don't have the money. We don't even know if any of them are still alive. Until yesterday. My girlfriend and I were scouring the web for any online presence of them when she found a Facebook profile for my sister that was created around 2 weeks ago. It only has one profile picture and the privacy settings are on pretty much maximum. You can only message it. She sent me the link to it and I'm blocked. However, given what happened with the text message a few years back, I'm inclined to believe that's in part due to my mother. Maybe I'm being stupidly naive and my sister really doesn't want anything to do with me, but here's my dilemma. Not only has my sister been cut off from me, she's been cut off from her entire family. All her aunts, uncles, and grandparents are not allowed to contact her lest they corrupt her, mother's words, into seeing me and my dad again. I can message my sister if I create a new Facebook account, even if it's just to let her know that whatever she's been fed about mine and my father's feelings about her are lies and that we still love her. Even if it's just to let her know that her nan thinks about her every day, and she could pass away happy after just one phone call from her. The issue is I don't want her mother intercepting the message and making things worse for her or us. I'm sure her account is heavily monitored. I might sound crazy to a lot of people, and I know there's two sides to every story, including this one, but I promise you on my own life, living under my mother is like living under a dictatorship. Your thoughts aren't your own. It's horrible. She will start university in September, I assume. I'm thinking the best way to do this is to message the account around October time. The thing is, I don't know if I'm emotionally ready to be told to go F myself by her. My dad's therapist has said there's a very real possibility my sister grows to become like my mother. Part of me is ready to accept that fact as closure. Part of me wants to believe that would never happen. And part of me thinks I should leave it alone. I'm really at a loss for what to do. For 4 years, I've been looking for her. Now that I finally found her, or at least an online presence of hers, I really don't want to F anything up. What's the best way to go from here? And there are some comments and an update, but we got thoughts.
This feels like those movies where it's just like, I don't know, the princess has been captured.
Yeah.
And she's like, no,
she's
like
stuck
save
in the
yourself.
tower.
Yeah. And then they tried so hard to go back to this tower and fight this dragon, but she can't. Now she's like riding the dragon with a sword and is just like fighting with the dragon or something. If that's even what's happening. I don't know.
Well, but I think the only way for you to figure out if she's in cahoots with the dragon is to message her.
Yeah.
And I think that is like a really scary thing because you don't know if you're going to get that FU message. But I think that it's worth it in the long run, like on the off chance that your sister has been wanting to message you for ages, but has been kind of under the thumb of your mother.
Yeah.
And now that she's going to college, I think that's the perfect opportunity to reach out. Comment 1, even if it's just to let her know that her nan thinks about her every day and she could die happy after just one phone call from her. This commenter says, don't do this. It comes off as very manipulative and will likely send her running back away from you if you try something like this. If you're going to contact her, just tell her that you love her, miss her, and hope she's doing well. If she responds, try to go about a normal conversation, ask about school, future goals, friends, etc. Leave your dad and mom out of the conversation. Be prepared to be blocked, as if she tells your mom about this, she is likely going to feel you've hunted her down to corrupt her. OP says, that's a very good point. I hadn't even considered. My thought process is that even if she wants nothing to do with me or my dad, surely she can't have dismissed all of her family that easily. But I don't want to do anything that could be twisted to justify what mom did. Thanks for the advice. Comment 2, how sure are you that she hasn't been jaded by your mom after the past 4 years? I feel like she would have tried to talk to you. I would send the tiniest message just saying that you still care, and now that she's an adult, you were wondering if you can talk. I wouldn't go much past that. Let her decide. OP says, I'm 100% sure she's been jaded. That's why I want to do this right. And there is an update.
What? I thought that was the end.
Nope. No, we're about to find out if OP is successful or not. Well, I'm 23 now, finished university, starting a real job. Dad and I no longer have depression. Life is pretty good. Woo! As for my sister, a few interesting things happened, to say the least. Firstly, I took the overall consensus from the original post and didn't make any attempt to contact her. I did wastedly check her page from time to time to see if anything had changed and found that I'd been unblocked on my main Facebook account. Probably around August the same year, my sister rang my aunt and said she wanted to arrange a meeting with her and her son, our cousin, obviously. My aunt immediately rang my dad and I and told us the good news. We were both uncertain about how we should take it, but overall, we were pretty happy. They all met up, and apparently my sister has been evicted from our mother's house for some reason or another and is staying with a friend, and she hasn't spoken to my mom for over a year. The story goes that my mother and her new new victim managed to ostracize themselves from all their friends down there, and my mother took out her aggression on my sister, so she stormed out and turned up teary-eyed at this friend's house and has been living with them ever since. She asked about me and my father, if we were doing well, and if we hate her. And yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Obviously, my aunt assured her that we definitely don't. My sister says that she wants to get in contact with the both of us, but she wants to take it slow, and she didn't know how we would react. In my view, that's completely understandable. That's interesting point number 1. Just as a side note, my mother once smacked my sister in the face for wasting a tampon when she was 12. You waste a tampon.
That's crazy.
What? I obviously am not completely familiar with that uniquely female experience, but I did get the joy of hearing that moment unfold, just for an idea of the type of person my mother is and what she did to us both as kids. Interesting point number 2 happens when my sister goes with her new boyfriend up to visit our nan. Another cousin of ours, big family, is also present for this meeting. My cousin tells me that my sister told our nan that it had been a few months since she had last spoken to our mother, which is quite a bit different to over a year ago. Whatever, maybe my aunt misremembered the meeting. However, my cousin did say that she got a very off vibe from my sister. And to paraphrase her own words heavily, you would think sister had last seen us all last weekend, not 5 years ago. She walked into Nan's house like she owned the effing place. She didn't really say why she was getting in contact with us and not you or her father, other than she wasn't ready. And she didn't really say why she hadn't spoken to her mother either. I don't know. I wasn't happy with it at all. And we were all thinking that you two, my father and I, should be in the room, not us. But maybe your mother has made me too paranoid. My nan is my maternal grandparent. I phone her as often as I can, which isn't as often as I would like to be, admittedly. And I know I'll punt myself for it. I digress. Every time I do phone her, she always asks about my dad and his new partner and sends them both birthday cards, Christmas cards, so on. To me, it just speaks volumes about the type of person my mother is when her mother is more concerned about the well-being of her ex-husband and his new partner. Just trying to get this point home to any doubters. Number 3 occurs when I find out that my sister asked my nan for some money to help her out with university and not living with her mother anymore. I feel like this may be the real reason that she's getting in contact with all of these people.
Yeah.
She might still have all of the same biases that she had when she was living with her mom, but now she's like, oh, I can use these people to get money?
Yeah. Interesting.
My nan, being the lovely little 86-year-old Welsh sweetheart that she is, gave her around £2,000. Now, I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but asking for £2,000 within a few hours of reconnecting with the family that you haven't seen or made contact with for 5 years is strange.
Yeah.
No, I thought this was a happy reunion.
Me too. I thought this was a good update.
I'm annoyed. I find out about this because around November, my nan called me because she had promised me an update on the situation to tell me that for about a week after my sister met up with them all, they had been in regular contact via phone and Facebook. Since that week, nothing. Unreturned voicemails, Facebook messages left unread. My sister had taken the money and effed off. I spent the day reassuring my nan that she hadn't done anything wrong, and she definitely wasn't the idiot she thought she was for giving my sister the money. Number 4 is the least interesting, but you'll be pleased to know that my ramblings end here, at least. It should go without saying that since the first meeting in August with my aunt and her son, neither my dad nor I had any direct contact with my sister. On Boxing Day, my sister finally calls my nan and wishes her a Merry Christmas. My nan says thanks and hangs up. In January, on my nan's 87th birthday, my sister calls up and wishes her a happy birthday and also mentions that she's having some money problems. That's interesting. That's crazy.
What?
Hope you figure this out.
Right. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly how you need to do that.
My nan rolls her eyes and hands the phone to my aunt, who buys my sister's sob story hook, line, and sinker, and rings me to tell me the quote-unquote good news. And that it's different this time. She really wants to see you. Really wants to see your bank account. Oh. Around May, which is my birthday month, by the way, my sister sends a text to my aunt to see if she has any old pictures of her. My aunt says she doesn't, but that me and my dad might, which we do. My sister sends a text back saying that she will get in touch with us. I know this is going to come as a complete shock, but it's been radio silence since. And in all honesty, I'm fine with that. To me, it's crystal clear who my sister has grown up to be like. That's so sad.
Wow.
That's so sad.
That is really sad. All this work, and all this like hoping, and then it's not what you wanted.
Toying with family members' emotions, treating her own presence as a gift, and using it to manipulate money out of people. Inconsistent stories about a relationship with the one person she knows would be a deal breaker if the rest of the family knew was still involved, and terrible at hiding her true intentions. Will she ask me for the photos? Probably not, unless she gets really desperate and exhausts all other avenues for exploiting money out of people with pity stories. But even she knows that I know exactly who that money is going to. My mother knows that she's not in my nan's will at this point. If she does want to meet up, I will bring the photos with me. Part of me wants to bring 2 envelopes. Half of the photos in one envelope, the other half shredded up in another, and depending on how well the meeting goes depends on which envelope she gets. I won't do that, but the thought of being that petty is very tempting. I'm not holding my breath. She was 14 and I was 17 the last time I saw her. She's turning 21 this year and I was 23 in May. I've had my years of anger and grief and done my time with depression. I've hurt many people and many relationships along the way. I'm still learning what's normal and what isn't, but on the whole, my life is split up into before and after. And for the most part, my sister lives and will remain in the before. Somewhat because I want to maintain the memory I have of her. Oh, this is so sad.
This is really sad.
I mean, this guy is like, before he left at 17, he told her that he will always love her. And I'm sure that's still true, but to also know that this sister is not the sister that you grew up with has kind of changed and been corrupted by your mom.
I mean, 14
is
the last
very
time you saw her.
susceptible age.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Somewhat because I'm not ready to go through what I overcame again. I've accepted my role in the universe as the recipient of bad karma to make up for all the good karma that randomly happens to other people. I'm okay with that. For the first time in my life, I've been the one in control. As for my attitude towards her and my mother, the best word I could adequately use to describe it is ambivalent. They could win the lottery and be on the news tomorrow, or they could get hit by a bus.
Damn.
My reaction would probably be the same.
Dang, man. That's crazy.
Oh, no. I hope you don't mean that about your sister. I mean, I understand that she's been manipulative and stealing money, but to everyone else out there with estranged parents or other family members, the one thing I learned is that estrangement is the best thing they'll ever do for you. Edit, in reference to my idea of ripping up the photos, that was only ever half serious. I wouldn't do something like that. It's petty, wouldn't be fair to my sister, and would only give me short-term satisfaction in the form of a pathetic one-up. I realized that before writing the post. In reference to the bad karma line, I actually think I'm a very lucky man, all things considered. I'm where I want to be in life. I have a fun and happy and stable family around me, and I'm confident in the person I've become. That line is a glimpse into my personality. Some people got that. Some people were genuinely concerned for me, which I do sincerely appreciate. The black dog never really stops chasing you, but I get a much warmer feeling from being able to laugh at a universe that is seemingly constantly crapping on you than I do from pretending that everything's okay. That's what I meant by that line. And a good amount of people made the fair comment that my sister is still young and still possibly under my mom's influence. I appreciate those people taking the time to give feedback and advice, but ultimately, my life has already moved on. But I hope that you never move on from us, because you can watch full episodes of stories just like this if you go to Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Spotify and search up OK Storytime. And there is a little bit left to the story, but do you have any final thoughts?
That is a tough situation to be in.
So tough. So tough.
I am glad that OP is moving on, because that's really all that you can do. That's all you have control over. So
I mean, you've done what you can with trying to reach out to your sister.
Right.
And your family has definitely done that. And it seems like right now she's really only interested in a relationship with you guys when it comes to money. So until she kind of realizes that that's not the way to treat you guys, there's not too much you can do.
I'm glad where your headspace is at.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is maybe it doesn't seem like you would want to do this, which is fair, but maybe you could reach out to her and say, hey, I want to have a conversation about the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest in giving you money, so don't ask. I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
And then maybe have that conversation and get all of those things off your chest. But right now it does seem like you are kind of like, that's no longer where I'm at in life.
Yeah.
I made peace with the fact that I may never see my sister again long before the events I've detailed out here. And when this is all punted off, the closure and acceptance I had moved on from began to unravel. I'm not ready to go back into dark days off of a risk that everything might be okay. Yes, in the future we may reconnect, but for now I'm focused on my own life and am content with taking some of the rare happy memories I've had of my family and my childhood with me, untouched by these developments. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Sad. I think leaving reconciliation open as a possibility is a good thing, regardless of whether or not you want to see her right now or even for many, many years. I think not actively like cutting it off forever.
Yeah.
That is the end of that story. So we're going to jump into the next one. My sister and fiance can't stand each other. It's taking a toll on my wedding.
It's going to be another 50 cents for the toll right there.
Oh, bummer. I think I should start with some background. My sister and I are opposite in many ways. I'm very emotional. She's not. Ever since we were young, whenever we got into arguments, we would always just walk away and come back later as if nothing happened. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. We never really talked about the problem because when we did, she would always get irritated that I wouldn't just let something go. In fact, quite recently, she has stated with much pride how we can always get angry at each other and fight and just come back and put it all behind us. This would be fine if I didn't get hurt so often and so easily. I didn't think much of it when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I'm seeing how unhealthy it is to leave these conflicts unsettled. She also has a very difficult time apologizing. Fast forward to last summer. I've been dating my fiance for about a year at the time, and I was living with my sister. Meanwhile, she's been continuing her turbulent, harmful relationship with her boyfriend of 5 years. Still is. This particular day, I was with my boyfriend, we'll call him Keith, who lives about 45 minutes away from my sister. Him and I are hanging out, and I get a call from my sister's boyfriend, we'll call my sister Rebecca, and her boyfriend Charlie. Charlie says that if my sister wants to come get her laundry and her purse, it's waiting outside for her. I'm confused, although this isn't the first time he's roped me into one of their fights, so I called Rebecca. Turns out they had gotten into an argument while driving in Charlie's car. He pulled into a parking lot, told her to get out, and drove off, leaving Rebecca in a parking lot on a hot summer day with nothing but her cell phone. She told me she could just walk to her apartment, but asked for a ride to her boyfriend's house. I told her I didn't mind, but it would be a while since we were kind of far, and she told us to take our time. This is where I kind of messed up and interpreted this as, I'll call you later if I need you to come, but I'm all right for the time being. I wouldn't have interpreted that as that way. I would have thought like, oh, no rush, but like, I'm here waiting. So a few hours pass, and she starts texting me. I haven't heard anything more, so I thought she had made it safely to her apartment and all was said and done. She was just arguing with her boyfriend. I was kind of worried, but it wasn't the first time they had gotten into a big fight like this, so I left them to their own devices. Turns out she had been waiting on me and Keith to pick her up this whole time. She was livid, called me crying, and Keith and I left immediately. But right before we got out the door, Charlie called me and told me I was a terrible sister and how could I leave her waiting like that? Then he hung up without letting me talk. I think it's a little bit on you. I'm wondering why she didn't text, but that is a little bit on you because why did you interpret it that way?
Yeah, I don't know. You have free will. Remember, folks, we have free will. We can do things like make phone calls or send text messages.
Yeah. I felt like the crappiest human being in existence, and of course, like the crybaby I am, started, crying. Keith was pissed. The whole ride down, we barely spoke. I had never seen my boyfriend this mad in my life. We finally got down there and went to Charlie's place. They weren't there, so we went to Rebecca's place. They weren't there either. We went back to Charlie's place one more time, and lo and behold, the garage door was open. They were just standing there as if nothing had happened. I apologized to my sister about misinterpreting, but she, of course, didn't.
Didn't apologize what?
What?
Didn't apologize to you for what? For you not picking her up?
I'm confused what your sister would have to apologize for.
Ooh.
She got mad at you for a bit, like not showing up to pick her up.
Oh boy, we're getting 2 back-to-back a-hole stories?
You're a little bit the a-hole.
Ooh.
Also, you're like, and I cried. Okay.
Yeah. Did you get overwhelmed by the consequences of your actions?
By you not picking up your sister?
What's going on here?
I said we had to talk about this later. I kind of wanted to just leave because it seemed like everything was about as normal as it was going to get. But Keith was still incredibly pissed about how Charlie had treated me. They started shouting at each other, and we left in a blaze going back to my boyfriend's house. The next few months, there was obviously a lot of tension between all of us. I ended up moving out for school, and Rebecca and I ended up getting into an huge argument. I didn't talk to her for a few months, and when we finally met up again, she just acted like the whole thing never happened, just like old times. We had a gigantic fight, and she wasn't willing to even bring it up. Well, I figured I didn't want to cause any more problems. If I just brought it all up again, she'd get angry, and we'd just start talking again. So I went with it. That was last November after my boyfriend proposed, and when I told my sister, she replied with nothing but F you. Oh, dang.
Doesn't seem like a very chill response. Seems like there's probably a lot of stuff beneath the surface that's
been
been
like she never
bubbling.
Actually, she does not like you. It seems like you guys didn't talk about it, and she's still mad at you.
What else has happened? There's got to be more.
What is going on?
So much more context to this relationship.
Fast forward again to today. A few weeks ago, one of my other sisters, her boyfriend, Rebecca, Charlie, Keith, and I went out to dinner, and we were given gift cards. Keith is a very quiet person and doesn't share a lot of interest with other people in my family, so he barely spoke. There was also a little mix-up with paying the bill where he begrudgingly had to tell everyone that he wasn't willing to pay extra if he didn't have to.
What? That's not about... What? He's like, I'm not paying for the drinks. I didn't have your drinks. Why would I have to split it evenly if I didn't have any drinks?
Okay.
He's probably pulling one of those.
Keith and I were careful about getting cheap stuff off the menu while Rebecca and Charlie splurged, and Keith didn't realize we were splitting the costs. Okay, I mean, you can bring it up. You can bring it up in because that's not fair if they're paying a lot more and they're like, let's split.
And you're like, maybe I can order another meal to go, eh?
Nobody mentioned anything until 2 weeks later when Charlie texted me literally out of nowhere that if Keith had a problem with the way the check was split up, then he should have spoken up. Don't agree and then witch out about it when the check comes. I was irritated, but basically told him that if he had a problem with my fiance, then he could talk to Keith himself. He never answered. I ended up meeting with my sister a couple weeks later and we talked about the text. She basically said, look, I don't mean to be rude, but your fiance is really quiet and doesn't seem to be making an attempt to talk to us or get to know us when we hang out. I think he just feels obligated to be with us. I told Keith later and he basically said that was all true because he hadn't let what happened last summer go. I finally decided that the only way we could all get over this was if we all got together to talk about it. I texted Rebecca and tried to tell her I wanted all of us to meet together. It was completely useless. She kept saying she didn't think it would help, that our suitors just had different personalities, etc. I told her I wanted to give Keith a chance to explain to her why he was uncomfortable around her and Charlie, but she wasn't having it. So I just ended up giving her his phone number. He offered, and I doubt she even saved it in her phone. I'm just super frustrated because I feel like there's this huge barrier preventing Keith from getting along with Rebecca, or even me getting along with my sister, and we could just easily talk it out. She complains about his attitude, but when I tried to give him an opportunity to explain himself, she just says, no. He just needs to adjust his behavior. He's still really upset over how Charlie treated me, how Rebecca treated me, and even how Charlie treats Rebecca on a regular basis. What happened over the summer is not the full extent of what he's done to her, and I imagine the only way they can continue their toxic relationship is by doing just that. Getting in arguments and then just forgive and forget. So I have a few questions. Where do I go from here? Is this my responsibility to fix? Is it even worth getting tangled up in this, or should I just keep our relationship okay on the surface like it has been for months? Again, there's no way anyone on here can know the entirety of the story, but this is the best of my recollection.
I'm sorry,
is an edit.
Is OP asking if it's her responsibility to fix her boyfriend's ability to be friends with her family?
Yeah.
That's your boyfriend's job.
Yeah. He needs to, I feel like everyone's a little bit the a-hole here.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everyone's weird in this.
Everyone's
this
weird.
Context.
I mean, we have OP who misinterpreted, hey, can you come pick me up, as I'll come hours later after you call me crying saying no one's here. And then you have her boyfriend who yells at OP's sister for being mad that she wasn't picked up. And then you have the sister who's like, I don't know, she's like months later not talking about her feelings, just glossing over things, but also still making problems. And we have the boyfriend who's making weird things about the bill. It's just like so many weird things are going on here.
Strangeness.
Yeah. And you guys are all avoidant, so
I don't like any of it.
there is an edit and an update. My fiance's comment below clarifies things a bit more. I was going between classes, so I didn't type all the details. Also, if you saw this earlier and it was gigantic, it's because I was in chapel and the internet's in chapel and I was doing it on mobile, so I didn't realize it would be gigantic until after I updated. So update. Well, long story short, I'm pretty sure Rebecca is just not going to be at my wedding at all. About a week after my original post, I took most everyone's advice and texted her that I wasn't comfortable with her being my maid of honor because she doesn't respect my fiance and the fact that both of us are getting married to each other. She didn't answer me the whole day, but instead decided to post a quote on Facebook that said something along the lines of, "It's okay to be angry, but it's never okay to be cruel cruel. Later that evening, Charlie texted me and accused Keith of being a little witch because if he has a problem with me, then he should tell me instead of going through you or Rebecca.
He's doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You're talking to OP instead of talking to Keith.
Never mind the fact that he literally did the exact same thing mere weeks ago.
And he's doing it right now.
He's doing it right now.
Now they're becoming petty. Now they're
Literally
becoming
right
who could be the pettiest here. Great.
Well, it was clear that she still didn't see a problem with her behavior. I waited until the next morning to text her again to see if she would respond, which she didn't. I texted her again and said, the problem isn't just between the boys. It's between the two of us. I think there's some resentment built up and I don't really like the way we handle conflict. Something along those lines. She sent me a text that said, I was living in a world of delusion, and that's all I have to say to you. So it was clear she wasn't going to try to see things from my perspective. Fast forward to this last weekend, I went to talk to my parents. They live about a half an hour away, and I offhand mentioned our conflict to them. My mom then said that Rebecca had given her a message to pass down to me. Rebecca never said that the two of you shouldn't get married. I was immediately agitated because I had never said she said that. Just that she doesn't respect Keith or our future marriage. I texted her and said just that, as well as, I don't expect you to be ecstatic, but maybe a little more support than telling me to go F myself when I tell you I'm engaged. I don't think it's too much to ask that you aren't my maid of honor after you reacted that way. She blew up. She justified her saying so because I had apparently lied to people about her not talking to me when it was the other way around. She said, if you expect me to say something nice to you after lying to everyone, you are out of your mind. Rebecca then literally said everything was my fault, not hers, that I needed to stop playing the victim, and that she repeatedly tried to fix things. But all I ever did was cry, blow her off, or say I would try to change. I pointed out that there was a period of time where I had sent her a message and she didn't respond. And that happened to be the time when I had talked to other people about our whole debacle. I told her she can't use her anger to justify telling me what she did, and that she literally did everything but trying to fix things. Posted on Facebook, talked to her boyfriend and my mom, when she could have easily talked to me. She also never tries to fix anything anyway. She tells me all the reasons I'm wrong and never admits to anything being her fault, and then expects me to just be okay with it all. I said this was exactly what I had meant by built up resentment, and finally ended with, I never said I wasn't at fault for anything. I just don't understand why you think you're invulnerable to any kind of blame or criticism. Rebecca started with, you don't get it. You're never gonna get it. She accused me of always turning everything around on her and making it her fault when nothing was. That apparently several people don't approve of my fiance, which I don't really care for because she's never got anyone's approval when she started dating Charlie. That she's the only one that has enough respect for me to say so. Respect? Okay. Sure. And that I've changed into a totally different person since I met Keith. The last thing she sent me was, have fun at your wedding. By the way, you can have fun listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search for Okay Storytime. And there is a little bit left to this story. But do you have any final thoughts?
I think none of these, to quote Kimberly Hawley, I don't think any of these people should be allowed to speak words or have social media.
I agree. You guys are all really bad at handling conflict.
Yeah.
I haven't said anything else to her, and I don't know if I really intend to. She obviously doesn't see any fault in what she did and will never apologize or change. Whenever I tell her that I don't like something she's done, she tells me I need to stop trying to change who she is and that I'm being too sensitive. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to send her an invitation. And I'm talking to one of my good friends later today to ask her to be my maid of honor instead. If she accepts, or even if she doesn't, this wedding will be a lot better without my sister's influence. And I blocked Charlie's calls and texts. My close friend turned down the position. She said she didn't want to feel like she had a red target on her face and felt like it would make for an awkward situation with my family. But I've got a few other women I can ask, and I'm not getting married for a while, so no rush. And that is the end of that story.
Y'all need just to read a couple books.
But read some books.
On communicating.
Read some books.
Or listen to this show.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wait.
that'll help.
So we can say, hey, communicate, figure it out. But that is the end of that story.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you. And see you tomorrow.